You guys had exited the guardhouse and left your new friend behind to guard his old friend. Circled around the castle, looking for a log cabin that may or may not exist. And when eventually you came to the front doors of the castle proper, I'm now realizing I should start some music for stream. So you came to the front doors of the castle proper, of Castle Dire, and when you couldn't open them, decided, fuck it, let's just blast them the fuck open. So Zelfer,
current solution.
yeah, for most issues, just fucking blast it. So the party was pretty fine with Zelfer just going at it with some fire bolts, and that has brought us to where we are now. With Zelfer, he puts a couple of fire bolts in, and on the third one, there's some movement from inside, and you see a faint blue glowing light coming from the cracks in the door. And was that me going live? Did somebody just get the notification for me going live? Anyway,
Not me.
you feel it. You see a faint blue glow.
You're live.
Hey, thanks. There it is. A faint blue glow, and you see some movement. And on your third firebolt, the door is weak. Yeah. The door is weakened and kind of singed enough that, to your surprise, probably, a couple of men burst through, shoving spears in their legs out, and they push through the door, and essentially tell you to halt. And as they do so, Zelfer lets off a fourth firebolt because nobody has told him to stop, just above their heads. He informed me. So that's where we're starting, is with Zelfer launching another firebolt just above the heads of these two men, who Jason and Menon would recognize as cloaked rangers.
Alright, I was
Wonderful.
like, Zelfer, stop! Stop, they're friends! Zelfer, stop!
What? Hey, 1 second. Fifth one.
No!
And you fire a fifth one, and the entire center of this large, ornate wooden doorway is now just kind of blasted all the way through. And the two guards in their, what I'll describe for the rest of you as though you've seen them before, in their kind of hooded green cloaks. These ones are carrying spears, which is abnormal. Usually, those of you who would know cloaked rangers know that they usually carry bows and arrows. These guys have spears, and they're pointing them at you all as a group, rather shakily, looking rather frightened. And they yell, "Stop! Stop it! No more! Stay back!"
Your door is broken.
Making a note to myself to learn counterspell.
And
Your door is broken.
the guards look to all of
Babysits
you with obvious fear in their eyes. And there's a faint blue light coming from further into the castle that you can see kind of flickering.
Hey guys.
He's technically friendly.
Do you guys know a place I can clean this? Pulling out the spinal cord.
One of them
We're
kind of
still
bounces back a little. Oh, what the?
We're still working out the king.
Ravina!
Oh, there-
Ravina! And he calls back into the castle.
I guess not.
No,
Puts it back away.
no need to call
Ravina.
reinforcements.
I smile. No, bring that one in.
Oh boy.
The guards kind of look to each other, sort of confused and scared, and backs to the singed doorway, spears pointed at you all. And there's a moment of tense silence as they stare at you, waiting for reinforcements.
I smile real wide.
Zelfer does the same, but it's a little creepy when he does it.
He
looks
Like
like
a
he's-
chimpanzee begging for its life.
He looks like
He's-
someone mimicking a large smile, but like doesn't quite know how to do a sincere smile.
Like my teeth are barred a little bit, my eyes are wider than they normally.
Zelfer, maybe dial it back a bit.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Menon. Stops smiling and just stares into one of the guards' eyes.
He stares back,
You know
and
what?
you can the fear is palpable.
You know what? That's probably better.
Probably
as the door is kind of crackling where the firebolts hit, and it's kind of melting and
I'll
chipping
use-
away.
I'll use prestidigitation to put it out.
Okay, the door is now just has several holes in it.
Percy's,
You have nothing to fear.
gonna walk forward. The spears are still up, right?
Oh yeah, pointed directly at you guys.
Alright. Very gently, he's gonna just walk up, kind of hands outstretched, and put his hand on the top of the spear and kind of push it down, and just point at the castle and go, "Can I go home?"
And okay, so what happens is you kind of walk forward and you bring your hand down very gently. Why don't you make me? What kind of check would you like to make? Maybe a general charisma to just seem at the least intimidating you could possibly look, because you're a big scary man.
A gentle check.
Make a gentle check for me. A general charisma check.
Make an ooh check.
That is a constitution, my dude.
I knew that.
Yeah, you're just
Thank
testing
you for
me.
paying attention.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for keeping me on my toes. Okay. Sure.
Basically the same.
So you walk forward, very, very carefully, arms raised, and you bring your hand down. And as you do so, the spear kind of jabs out towards you slightly, but you know, looking in this guy's eyes, he's not going to stab you. You can see he doesn't have it in him. And you gently place your hand on the spear and lower it down. And you say, pointing in the castle, "Can I go home?" And the guy whose spear you just lowered, he kind of resists for a moment and then stops, and the spear lowers a bit. And the other one looks at him and then looks at you and then looks at the guard and looks at you. And he goes, "No, nobody lives here, Ravina!" And then you hear some screaming from within the castle, but it's distant. You can't tell what's being said. Somebody's shouting something.
He's gonna hold both of his hands out again, showing that he has no weapon, and he goes, "This isn't supposed to be intimidating at all per se, but I'm gonna go in there whether you want me to or not, and I really don't think you have a say in stopping me."
This time, why do you always wait until I'm streaming, Jason? Jason,
sorry.
Here's the thing. I appreciate the sub. But now I have to listen to text-to-speech say, oh, yeah, you have so many relationships. Okay, hold on. Let's just wait a moment for this to play it. Because it's gonna happen.
It's the lyrics to
Oh, yeah, you have so many relationships in this life. Only one or two will last.
I could only paste part of
You
it.
go through all the pain and strife, then you turn your back and they're gone so fast. Oh. Yeah, and they're gone so fast. Yeah, so hold on, the ones who really...
Thanks, Jason.
That's pretty great, actually.
Also, what's up, Scooter? Anyway, so this time the one that you initially lowered his spear to, his spear is lowered, and he seems like he's relented to your wishes. But the other one, with more determination now, jabs his spear toward you, not hitting you, but toward you. He says, I have strict orders. I can't let you in. Ravina!
Okay, but
Who's giving you these
Ravina!
orders?
I shout.
listen here. I don't care.
listen, Ravina, and the one looks to Sam and says, "Ravina." She and the other one kind of elbows him like, "Don't say her name. What the hell, man?"
You guys are both yelling it.
Whoever she is, I don't think her order supersedes his.
Okay, so listen. I'm gonna say it again.
Ravina!
I'm gonna say it again, and this time, I'm just gonna do it.
Can't
I don't
really
have any
know.
intention of hurting any of you.
Make another charisma check, and at the same time, while you're making that check, the one on the left, the one who seems a bit more determined, is looking to Sam now. Is like, "What? His
fuck
orders?
yeah.
Oh boy, his orders. What is? Are you guys rangers? Where are you? No, what? What's going on? Who are you? Who are you?"
What the hell is a ranger?
Do colossi count as ranges?
What is a ranger?
They both look so confused.
Well, see,
And-
it's a person who gallivants around the woods with arrows and
With range.
They're a local superhero group. They've got their
they're
own
like-
theme song and
they're like
everything.
druids.
It's pretty great.
they're like druids who wear clothes.
And when you say theme song, one of them goes, "Oh my gods! You're the ones who played the music at the brewery. You two, or no, just you.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
No, it was, two of us.
Yeah, you two. Wait." And
so
then,
Percy's gonna start walking forward.
and at this point, the one on the right who's kind of going, "Oh, you guys," he actually kind of steps out of the way for you, and he's like, "No, and the one on the left who has been more determined is looks at you kind of scared, but still holding a spear firmly. The other guy says, "No, maybe they can help. We can't listen." And as they start to bicker, you kind of gently but firmly kind of walk through, and you have to kind of break some of the pieces of the door off if you want to fit through without like crouching and being awkward and scratching yourself up. But since it's all burned and singed, you can easily just kind of break open a Percival-sized hole into the door. And yeah, And
Oh fuck.
and at this point, the one on the left is really eyeing Sam up and down and squinting and curious, and the one on the right is just moved out of the
Can
way.
I
He's like,
help you?
and
Yeah, you're hot.
he says, I don't know who you are, but if you can help,
My name is Sam.
We can.
How
Following
you know who I
Percy.
am?
Sam, if you're a friend of Ravina's, you're a friend of ours. Just head in, please.
Who the hell is Ravina?
Oh, what?
I know her. I'll handle this.
Your mom.
And he looks. The determined guard looks to the scared guard and says, "You're sure you know these guys?" And the scared.
Determined.
Yeah. I just keep using these words to describe them, so that's what they are now. The scared one kind of shakes his head really quickly. Yeah, I know them. It's okay. And so, are you all entering the castle?
I follow really
That's
closely
fine.
behind Percy, kind of skipping.
Skipping. Okay, sure.
Little
gonna
smile
get-
on my face.
I'm gonna give the scared one a gentle pat on the head before I go through the door.
He kind of recoils back at first and then just looks kind of scared and confused as you guys, there's this like pulsating blue light emanating from within the castle halls, and you're all and they're freaking out, and you just kind of casually, one of you is skipping in, one just kind of calmly pushed through, calling this his home, and one is now patting him on the head. So he's freaked the fuck out, and you move on.
May I give him a smooch on the cheek?
Is
Go
that
for the lips,
you
man.
can
Go for it.
certainly try.
Ship
Nah,
is on
it's not worth it.
lips.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
So you all head in.
He's not your type, huh?
You all head into the castle, and Percy, it is pretty much exactly as you remember it. The main hall being a sort of large grandeur lobby, so to speak, with various doors and stairways leading all over the castle, and up ahead there's
Just walking in.
up ahead there's the normally there are two large sealed doors. As you know, up ahead is the throne room, where serious matters are attended to. But the doors are swung wide open, and you can see that all of you can see up ahead in the throne room, the blue light is coming from some strange. It looks like a door, but it's glowing, and there's dust coming out of it, and it's a strange
Does it-
scene with several people
does it
kind of
look like the,
frantically running about it.
Does it look like the thing that we got a glimpse of when we first met Percival?
Not quite. This one is kind
Okay.
of. It looks like a standing door, except it's slightly raised off the ground and it's glowing. It's not something on the ground. But the only difference is this place is completely covered in dust, and there's some blood stains here and there, and it pretty much looks like this place was put under siege and then abandoned.
Sweet.
But-
it's like good I'm still alive. Fuck.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm still alive, but
Right. The entire party can see this kind of this strange scene, maybe 100 feet ahead. This strange blue glowing door and dust spewing out of it, and several people in black outfits kind of arguing or running about. And the two guards kind of step back inside the castle behind you guys and say, "Go, help, please!" And then they kind of point their spears back at the doors because now you've created a hole in them and they're trying to guard the entrance.
nice.
I see. All right. I look around for. What's her name?
Ravina,
Ravina.
you
Trying to get a peek around.
you can't be sure, but you think she's one of the people arguing, shouting, doing something up ahead.
Okay. Can we hear what they're shouting about? Like if we take time to listen.
Are you all just kind of once you get in the castle, you're looking around, or you just gonna you're just staying there and listening,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm taking a brief moment to try to focus on hearing?
Yeah, just to hear what's. Yeah. See if we can hear what's.
Just make me a general perception check.
general perception check.
General perception, sir.
Can I make
I
one?
saluted when you said that, but
Thanks.
of course nobody could fucking.
Can I make one too?
If you, yeah, you can. Anyone can if you'd like. If you believe you would be paying attention, trying to focus in rather than on what you're looking at around you, what you'd be hearing ahead of you.
Wait, what's? Oh yeah, perception. You said.
Mm-hmm.
Not good at that.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this way. Six and Percy, you both hear something. It sounds like a few people are arguing, kind of going back and forth, saying something about the plane, not worth it. I have to go. It's something about leaving. Sam, you get sort of the same idea, except maybe a couple fewer words. Menon, having never been in such an extravagant castle, you're kind of just you try to listen, but you're too enamored by the grandeur of the room you've just entered.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's so shiny. So shiny.
Blake, are you still with
Marble?
us? Oh, okay, you are.
Yeah.
Just checking. Mostly stone, but also marble and some sort of
Marble
metal.
Isn't stone?
The stone, as in like gray, so a more basic gray stone. Eat a dick.
Cobblestone or diorite?
I'm pretty sure marble is marble, not stone.
Isn't marble a
Leverite.
type of stone? It doesn't matter.
Man, your castle's made of diorite? Shit, I still got the green top.
Shut
Fuck
the
off.
fuck up. Anyway, so yeah, that's what you gather, and it looks like there's a row of archers kind of watching this scene, with an armored figure in the middle and a few people in black cloaks kind of near this strange glowing object.
I start waving at the archers.
They're not looking at you.
Oh,
You can wave if you like.
I am. I'm trying to get their attention.
Yeah.
I pull out my harmonica and I play the theme song.
Yes.
Okay.
Does anyone look?
Nobody looks.
Aw. Sad.
All right.
How about now? Now does anybody? Okay.
Hey, Ravina.
You shout.
Yes.
And at that point, she kind of, you can see that armored figure that was standing in the middle kind of quickly turns around. She kind of waves her hand and like as if to, dismiss you, but then stops and turns around a little bit and then looks back and then does a double take and sees you. And now she's fully turned towards you. And not quite being able to hear you very well, she just kind of raises her arms like a, what?
I smile real big and I wave. I just wave very friendly, friendlily.
Right.
I do it nice.
Okay. Okay, you sure do. At this point, she kind of she waves her arms back and forth as if to tell you stop, don't.
Okay, I think that means we should walk forward.
Okay, Mr. Six. He starts walking. I start walking forward.
How expected.
I don't know.
I
Would I
follow.
be able to sense her distress and feel like maybe I shouldn't?
Probably. It was a pretty clear like no, don't. You don't know what she's saying no,
Mr.
don't to,
Shirtless.
but what's
Yeah,
that?
I'm gonna hang back because first of all, I want to look at pretty architecture, and also because that thing looks spooky, and I don't want to go near it.
It's pretty
'cause-
spooky.
Because want to live.
Hold on, am I still shirtless?
I believe you are.
Epic.
Yeah.
I don't think I've put on a shirt since it rained, and we fought those little kobolds.
Yeah, no, I don't think you have.
Fought is a strong word.
Slaughtered, sorry.
Did you need something?
I mean, helped the friendly people.
Helped them into the next life.
Yup.
Sure. I love you. Okay. So Zelfer is walking forward. Is anybody Menon
Yeah,
is
I'm
staying
walking
back.
forward, too.
Zelfer, Six. Anyone else walking forward?
Sure.
I'm definitely walking with them.
Okay, so Menon, you notice the whole party is moving forward without you.
It's a
I'll-
party.
I'll reluctantly move forward, but like
In the
Be-
back.
10 feet or so behind them. Just
That's okay. Yeah. Let's see. So
enough to
Zelfer
be
was the
within
first
hearing
to
range, but not
move.
enough potentially to be in death range.
Understood. Okay, so I'm just kind of setting up where you guys are. Okay.
That's
So you
like a
guys-
battle map.
You guys begin walking forward, and as you start walking forward, you start noticing that not only is there a blue light emanating from this strange levitating door, there are also small purple flashes kind of appearing at random throughout the room ahead of you. And Ravina is very vehemently like waving her arms like, don't stop. And then suddenly you can
stop?
hear
Okay.
you can hear something shout. You can hear something, somebody shout from behind her, and she turns back around, and you hear her scream, "No, don't!" And at this point, you guys get to about the entrance of this room, and I'm going to place you
What
now.
room?
The one you're
setting up.
yeah, the room you're about to see.
Oh, okay.
One moment. Let me
Good
let me just
news,
drag you guys over
everyone.
there now.
Ooh.
So to set the scene
Yeah,
just a
this
bit
looks
more.
big spooky.
So just set the scene a bit more. You are in what is very clearly an ornate throne room, or what used to be, but it's, it looks like it's been through some hardships. There's this large blue glowing door kind of levitating off the ground in front of where the thrones are, and purple flashes of light kind of blinking into existence and out of existence all throughout the room in the same spots, but they kind of blink out and in, and it almost looks like dust or clouds kind of poofing into existence and then and disappearing. There is a man in heavy armor standing at the foot of this levitating no, but there are two massive girds on either end of the room apparently. But they're
Oh yes.
yeah. This man is standing at the foot of this levitating glowing door, and he kind of just staring up at it as dust is kind of pouring out of it, and kind of you can hear it kind of tinging off of his armor. And there's another man quietly in red and black armor. He is very well dressed, standing behind him. Two men with shields and weapons behind them, and then Ravina in the center on the rug, surrounded by 4 archers. And it seems to be some sort of intense moment as you walk into the room. There's a brief silence.
She shouts,
up?
"No, don't."
Mm-hmm.
Hello, people.
And at this point, Ravina turns back around. So does the spearman up ahead, and so does the man standing directly behind the heavily armored man. He kind of turns around for a moment, very obviously eyeing all of you up and down, sizing you up. And Ravina says, "I told you not to come here. It's not safe."
I don't
Oh,
know
I
who you
thought
are. I'm walking forward.
Okay,
I
you
was
walk forward a
Pretty
bit.
sure you were telling us not to stay where we were. I'm really sorry. That's
Stop
my
there,
fault.
please. She says, "You need to leave. It's not safe." Who are these people? 6. What's going? And she kind of turns back around, and she says, "Reginald, listen to me. It's not worth it. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It's not gonna accomplish anything." And at this point, the more ornately armored man kind of pushes by the man with the sword here, and slowly, and you can see as she approaches Ravina, she suddenly stops speaking, and he kind of says something, not whispering, but says something quietly into her ear. She steps aside, and this man approaches you, and stands here. He doesn't say anything, but he stands there. And then what will you guys do? What are you guys doing while this is happening?
Yeah, like I say, my mistake. Hey, what you guys doing?
As you ask this, the ornately armored man kind of steps forward, and once he's 5 or so feet away from Zelfer, he looks to you, 6, and then looks to Zelfer and says, "You shouldn't be here."
Probably, but we are. What's up?
Why?
They are meddling in things they should not, for no reason.
Well, then it sounds like you're lucky we're here.
No,
And I smile.
I doubt that, he says, looking at you.
Yeah, I look at him again and say, I doubt that too.
If people are meddling in things they shouldn't be, then maybe we should stop them from meddling.
Oh, believe me, I'm trying. But with you interfering, and he kind of turns back around, and you see him turn back around, and the door starts to kind of become brighter and brighter. The light emanating from it, becoming more becoming more powerful. Kind of like that, kind of like, kind of big boy light. And he says, and you kind of you hear him say something along the lines of, oh god. And then there's sort of this kind of warbling rush of energy, the sound of energy kind of like emanating from this gateway. And then all at once, you hear Reginald shout out, "I have to do it!" And he jumps in and disappears. And then
Bye bye, armored man.
as he does so, dust spews from this gateway all throughout the room.
I'm
And
gonna cover my mouth and nose with my cloak.
sure thing.
I'm gonna do that with my shirt. Oh,
I mean, I was thinking about it already, but like that did it.
Is the door still open? Or the shimmery whatever?
It has disappeared. However, you hear cackling, like almost like a creature cackling, as and the flapping of wings, as if it was coming from the same spot that the portal just was.
Did
That
anyone
is
else
not-
feel the median IQ level in here just go up like 20 points?
Did anyone else feel their intelligence score go up by 2? That was weird. And
That's crazy.
you hear Ravina say, "Back up, back up," and everybody up ahead starts to back up. And then you notice as she and this man here back into this purple light, you can't hear or see anything, but they both immediately go "ah" and kind of jump out of it, as if they were in pain from it.
Don't touch
Hinting.
the perp.
Hint.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh,
And at this
Okay,
point,
well,
I need you guys to roll initiative.
What if I don't wanna?
okay.
I mean, you don't have to, but I'd like for you to.
Well, I'd like for you to stop getting 13s. Everyone, throw all 13.
Okay. No character found for selected. Oh, it worked the first time. Why does it say no character was found or selected?
Says the
Well,
same
let's
thing
make
for
this
me.
a test. Okay. So basically, I already rolled,
Uh-huh.
and it's not letting me know that I've rolled in here because I haven't touched my character yet. So now if I roll, is it going to place 2 values or just the 1?
I don't see you. I see you in the turn order now as 6.
Interesting. Yeah.
I don't see me in the turn order.
Do you actually not?
You're there. No, you're not.
My first one, it was an 18.
Yeah, you're got.
His second one was an 8.
Oh, because you
have it
replaced it
down
when
as a 8.
well because
Oh,
when you replaced it when you rolled it
fascinating.
twice. So I'll just make
Got
it
it.
18 because that was the first one you
Thank
rolled.
you.
Yeah, that was not me. That was just you overwriting your first
Yeah, no,
roll.
I gotcha.
Okay. Let's see. And then between Zelfer and Sam, who has a higher dex?
Sam, I'm assuming.
Who has the higher deck?
14.
Zelfer.
Dex, I got a 10, motherfucker.
All right, then that is good where it is. Then this is actually kind of opportune that they go first. So that kind of cackling sound, like a it sounds like at first there's 1, and then there's 2, and then 3 or 4, and then more, and it sounds like it's multiplying, and there's this flapping of wings, and suddenly, all at once, from the very spot that the gateway just was, perhaps a dozen or more of these dust-like cackling winged creatures come flying out of seemingly nothing. And I'll actually show you now. I like how sometimes this doesn't work. Hold on.
Hold nothing ever works.
I know. Sometimes it just doesn't wanna. When I want to show you guys something, it just doesn't do. So I'm just gonna have to do it manually. One moment. Bep.
Okay.
Bep. 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 And Bep. Okay, so this is what you're up against.
Oh boy.
Many of these dusty, winged, cackling creatures who seem to be producing dust by their very being come flying out
Demonic
from the space from the space that the
Sand
gateway
guys.
just was. And
Take a wild
Here,
guess at
bum, bum,
dust
bum, bum.
devils.
not quite.
Has anyone had their shots?
What?
Oh,
All
I
right.
You
think
know.
the only person who's done shots before noon is you.
And immediately
That is
ahead
true.
of you guys, battle erupts between these things
That's
and
not true.
the man up ahead. Ravina charges in bravely, swinging her mace, and the spearmen and the swordmen start swinging. The archers start taking shots, and immediately the archers take out a couple. But some begin to flank, flying obviously toward you guys, and you can notice flying straight through the purple mist that seem to harm Ravina. I'm just gonna go ahead and move a bunch
Or
of these.
17 more of them.
Very,
No,
very
no,
nice.
they fly right through it as if it doesn't bother them, is what I meant to express. All right, as they move forward, you see several of them kind of exhale or inhale, and their chests kind of bulging out to what seems like they should pop, and then as they exhale, dust starts to they spew dust all throughout the room, and one of let's see.
Dusty
Yep,
Blunt.
both of these two men up ahead immediately kind of cover their eyes and crouch down as if they cannot see anymore. And then we're gonna go to 6.
Son of a bitch. Well, 6. I mean, shit's going on at this point. So 5, 10, 15, 20. I will move up here.
Are you moving
guess
straight
I'll-
ahead,
I'll-
like straight forward?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I
Straight
need you
forward.
to make me a Constitution saving throw as you do so.
Oh, I see. I brushed the purple. All right.
I brushed the
Let me do
purple.
that. I brushed the purple. Which
Dust-
saving throw? I'm sorry.
Constitution. Dust Boy used pocket sand. Yeah, basically. That's actually a pretty accurate description of what just happened.
Which save are you looking
I'm
at?
sorry, Constitution.
Con save.
Okay. So
You're
6,
bad.
seeing battle erupt, you
Bummer.
immediately spring into action and start running forward, bravely, mind you. But as you do so, one of the purple clouds it almost seems like it reaches out toward you as you walk by it. And you're kind of covered in this purplish dust. It's not Hysterium. You know what Hysterium is like. This is not Hysterium dust. And as you do so, as you walk through it, you take 2 points of... I'm not going to tell you what kind of damage, but you take 2 points of damage. And it kind of burns wherever it hits, wherever it touches skin.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and so you run ahead and go ahead.
Do I still have a? Does that negate my action? Or?
Nope.
No.
You still have your turn. I
Oh.
just wanted to get that out of the
All
way.
right. Well, then I'll go ahead and take 2 swings, punchy at this guy.
Okay. Who is flying at you at about like 5 feet high, but you can
Good.
reach up and punch.
Fast miles.
Give him a good old
Yeah.
punch.
Good.
At
One attack.
dick fuck miles per hour.
Yeah,
Dick fuck.
at dick fuck miles per hour. Okay, so you let 2 swings out for 10 and 18. The first one, being in the air, he's able to kind of just lurch back a little bit, but getting him, kind of out of his stance, you then move forward and get a solid punch into his gut, and
Yes.
this creature kind of goes, "Eh," and some dust kind of pours out of its mouth as it does so. And it's kind of grabbing at its gut now.
Oh. All right.
Okay. Anything else from Mr. 6?
Not for me.
Alrighty, Mr. Sam.
I'll move up to here. And
Kick his
then-
ass, Seabass. Sam.
Jumping right into it.
Sam Bass.
Sam Bass.
See Sam.
I like that one. That's pretty good.
This
Something
seems
fish.
like a pretty good time.
What did you catch? Oh, I caught a sea Sam.
See Sam.
Choose one of those.
Okay. Do you want to describe what this looks like for the party?
Already described it once and forgot what it looked like. Essentially, they just see, I don't know, blood just fucking burst out of my skin
Ugh.
Oh,
Yes.
Pinky.
and then surround me in a sphere and then explode.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, you guys would recognize
Like-
this. Yeah.
Like Vladimir. Vladimir.
Yeah, it hurt.
Yes.
I believe one of you would have PTSD from this. Yeah. Or at least one of you.
Pretty shitty roll.
What's the radius? She's within a 15-foot sphere. Whoever was using your snap, can you show me a 15-foot sphere around him? Or is it just those 3 around him? Oh, not quite. Okay.
Oh, you can see
I
that.
think I'm gonna hurt Archer Boy.
Yeah, you are. Oh, so it's gonna do 8 damage to all of them.
Wow.
And
Did
do you?
they fail their Constitution save?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Let me do this. That one. Yes. No. Oh, well, that's kind of ironic. Okay. So 8 damage on a failed save. Is it half on a success? Sorry, I'm not reading. I'm just asking you.
So it's
Half on a success. Okay. So
it's twice on a failed save. So 16 on a failed save.
oh shit. Okay. Or half as much. Oh, cool. Okay. Wow. Well, that's interesting. So Sam runs forward, kind of pushes past the table, seeing on the flank several coming towards you guys, and the blood starts to kind of pulsate out of his body, surround him in a sphere, and then as it bursts out, once the quote-unquote dust has settled, the blood has settled, there are 1, 2, 3, 4... 4 of these dusty creatures lying on the ground, covered in blood and dust. And
Dude,
So-
enjoy your 20 temp health.
That since this guy is hurt, I'm gonna give him the 20 temp health.
so this guy doesn't know what's happening, but all of a sudden he just feels pain from his back and then feels better than ever. Okay. Sounds
so
good.
we know that Holden can count to 4.
At least.
We haven't tested him past
I need to
7
go
yet,
right
so-
there and then use it.
Oh, God.
That's a win button.
That's the win spot.
Hey, you want to see what I'm about to do?
Oh, no. All right. Sam, anything else?
Oh god. Alright, so the fight's over before I even get a turn.
No.
Why did they
All
all
right,
have to be
Zelfer.
kobolds?
They're not
Five,
kobolds.
There's
10,
so many
15,
ostriches.
You guys have
20,
seen kobolds. They're not kobolds.
25,
I know, but why
30.
do the placeholders have to be kobolds? Get
Oh shit! Wait.
PTSD.
Can I shout to the fucking rangers?
You can.
Can I ask these guys to move away from the main group?
How will you do that in 6 or fewer words?
Shout
6?
move.
Just move. Okay, you just shout move in that direction. Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, I did move myself away and like hook around.
I saw you move around. Yep.
Okay. Now this spell happens to have 150-foot range. Okay, and from here it's a 20-foot circle.
Okay.
Hey Holden, can you guess what I'm about to cast?
Ice bolt.
I put my staff down.
Well, I'm sorry.
Circle.
I'm sorry. I did not properly. This is my fault for not properly explaining. These circles you see are actually pillars.
Yeah, I'm hitting the pillar.
The first one here.
You're hitting
This-
this one.
Oh,
You would
I
be
can't-
hitting this one. I'm sorry. That is my fault for not properly describing.
Then I
I will allow you your movement back to readjust.
will go to the straight shot to the back pillar.
Okay.
And then from here, I'm gonna do a 20-foot circle. A fireball.
Okay. I'm gonna have you do one thing for me. You're trying to aim it around a lot of targets here. Like the straight line would intersect with several people and creatures. So make an Arcana check for accuracy if you'd like to do that, and I'll totally allow it.
I'm actually then gonna fire it in that straight line right there.
That you
to
can
right
do.
here.
Oh boy. Okay. That. Let me just right here.
It should be.
Yeah, I'll take
Oh.
a list of things that aren't a good idea for 500.
Yeah. Hey, it doesn't hit any of my direct party members, and therefore Zelfer doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah, I'll
Holy
take
fuck.
TPK for 300, Alex.
Maybe you're the party member I should have had a talk with. Jesus Christ. Okay.
It's not high damage though.
Not high damage. 24 fucking.
I rolled 3 1s.
Yeah, that's 3 ones. Oof.
Okay.
8d6 and you got 24. Jesus.
Everyone in that.
Nothing not tight.
No, because I moved to not have to snake it between people.
Okay, so drawing a straight line down here, it basically affects everyone on this left side of the battlefield. Holy fuck me.
Oh no.
Okay, so
As far as Zelfer is concerned, he only has 5. He only has like 4 friends. Everyone else in this fight can fucking die for all he gives a shit.
how to destroy an encounter 101. All right, fireball. Here we go. So give me a moment to describe what happens here.
Fireball.
Zelfra kind of, you guys watch Zelfra kind of look around, position himself. He slams the staff down, and a fireball erupts from him. 6, you feel it zip right past your left shoulder. You feel heat emanate, and you probably aren't sure of the origin, but you're like, oh god, you can see a fireball roaring past you. And also the ornately decorated man in front of you kind of turns back, seeing it, and oh boy, okay, let me make a few rolls here.
As many as you want.
Okay,
How cool it would be to have Psyker and Zelfra on the same team. You fireball him, I dance a macabre to them.
it's disgusting. So here's what happens. You launch a fireball. 6, you feel it go past your shoulder. The man in front of you with insane speed, as if he felt you, like he turned around before you felt the heat. Turns around, and then there's an eruption of flame from ahead of you. And let's count them. That's 1, that's 2, and 3,
Dab, dab.
4, and 5. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops. Come on. Hello. And 5. And 6. Why are they not? It's kind of taking a moment. 6 and
Cannot compute with
7.
genocide.
8. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I'm trying to go too fast. 8. Let me just double check my snap here. Holy fuck. And 9. 9 dead.
Everything's being laggy.
9 dead dust boys that you do not know what they are. Just crisped smoke rising from their bodies on the ground. Once they were flying, cackling, and then suddenly stops. There's a large whoosh of flame, and they are on the ground, as well as this man is also dead. And this man saw it and dove out of the way. On the ground.
Okay.
And this one is prone. This one is prone. Ravina is prone after they all dodged, jumped away from it. And 6, you noticed that the ornately decorated man in front of you. Actually, let me double check something.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but killed the one in front of you too. The blast. Oh my good god! Can I just count? Hold on. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dead things I'm not gonna tell you the name of yet. All at once. You watch this.
Left for you, Percy.
Jesus
4,
fucking
4.
Christ! I'm gonna leave that oof there. Whoever wrote that, that is quite.
F in chat. Boy.
Yeah, can we get hold on, let me spam chat with F's for a moment. So, a whole fuck ton of dead dusty boys. There is dust and blood. Well, actually not as much blood. Mostly just dust and scorched creatures on the ground.
I made pillar men.
Thanks. On the ground. And
they were happy
thing is,
boys.
there's no blood, just dust, and it's kind of rising. Instead of smoke rising from the ashes of these creatures, there's dust. There's a distinct difference. It's tan, and Ravina's on the ground. Several of these cloaked, who you can presume to be cloaked rangers, even though they're in black rather than green, are on the ground. Please stop drawing on my battle map while I'm trying to describe what's happening. But 6, you notice the man decorated in front of you. He turned around, looked at you. You kind of locked eyes as the blast kind of barely reached in front of you and killed the creature in front of you that you just punched. And he's staring at you, and you see him get hit with the flame, and you see kind of like the side of his face get singed a little bit, but he stares at you the entire time. He didn't even try to move.
Does he look burned or blistered or singed or anything like that?
Well, it looks
Besides
like
when the fire was up there.
Looks like a fireball.
Like before.
Hey, Scarface should try
Say that again.
dodging next
Like
time.
yeah, as in did he look burned before it hit him?
No. I mean, does it look like he's blistered up or anything? Does it look like it has actually had an effect, or does it just look like he didn't give a shit?
It looks like it had an effect, but he doesn't give a shit.
Okay.
Or perhaps he's more angry. And Zelfer, probably giddy with destroying all these creatures. We're gonna move to Menon, who just watched everything transpire, and within 6 seconds, or realistically, the turn isn't even over. So within 3 seconds, there's just fire and blood and dust everywhere.
Well, didn't expect any less from this party.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't expect as much, so I have to rework how I do encounters. Oh boy.
Don't group everyone up together when I have one level 3 spell slot.
Yeah, I forgot you had Fireball. I'm gonna be perfectly honest.
I didn't.
It's like the only spell that he uses.
Let's see
I mean,
here.
Well, now the only spell he will
There's
use from
still
now
like
on.
4 of them.
There are 4 of them left for you.
The problem
Percy.
is, Fireball isn't even that great. He just used it in the perfect way. The most perfect way, and I hate him for it.
That's what D&D's all about.
Anyway, go on. Menon, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna move forward 30 feet and try and fucking cast, God, what the fuck was it called?
You're moving forward
The-
directly? Forward?
No, not directly forward. I would avoid the fucking...
Directly forward avoids
Purple.
dust.
Avoid... well, directly forward, yeah. Would avoid the dust. So
Why don't
move
you just,
direct-
yeah, move for me, because it's just so I can see.
15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay.
Okay, and then I cast, let's see, let me just double check here, oh yeah, there we go. So, yeah. All the people that are down and stuff are within range, so I'll cast a
Heal.
healing word on all of them.
Isn't Healing Word an action? Can't you only do it once?
Hmm?
Healing Word is one target, isn't it?
I'm trying to remember. All I have is
You
a
don't have
range of
Mass
60
Healing
feet.
Word. Healing Word is just one target.
Oh yeah, right. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Clara's shit.
Yeah, I
so-
know. We're higher level in Blake's
on it.
campaign. Yeah.
Oh.
Great.
Wow, why don't we just all level up right now?
Okay, you're all level 10.
I'll
Fuck you,
do
Blake.
It, then I'll do it on Ravina.
Okay. Sure thing.
Let me cast it real quick.
So Menon walks forward and just kind of quietly says, fuck, and points her head toward Ravina, who is prone on the ground, who's going to heal 5 points. Okay. Knowing
just
fully
says,
well
"Fuck."
that Ravina's prone and probably won't know that Menon did it, but she's just that selfless. Anything else?
Definitely, like, the fuck is soft, but with feeling. Just
Fuck.
fuck.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, and after you cast
Fuck.
this, you kind of point your hand out, and after you cast this, you kind of focus back onto what's in front of you, and you see Six and this man, this decorated man, like, locking eyes. It's very intimate. You're probably a bit aroused.
Hello.
The fuck is soft with feeling? Fuck.
Fuck.
Is that it?
Wait. I can't answer that.
I
It's
mean,
Menon's turn.
it is. But if there's like, I'll say now, if there's ever like a quick thing you want to say or a minor action that like won't really affect the battle, but you know would be good for RP that you want to
Big
do
PB.
mid battle, even if it's not your turn, I'll usually allow it.
Big PP.
I wink at the guy.
His gaze does not falter. Menon, anything else?
What about his straights?
No. Okay. Just fuck off, Isaac. Hey, speaking of
That's
Isaac, it's your
fine.
turn. Now that most of them are dead, it's your turn.
Yeah. Alright then. That's not a ruler.
Beautiful. Plotting his course mathematically before he moves.
27.4 feet.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Emerald.
That one like really fat villager in Minecraft.
Hey, you are wicked afraid. Okay.
Fuck. I'm sorry. While you're thinking, I'm gonna quickly open up my window because I'm getting a little warm in here.
You know what?
Meh.
We didn't hear what you said, Holden. Oh, according to the stream, he's gone.
Meh.
Wait.
All right, what you doing, boyo?
Meh.
It was,
Okay, hold on.
you cut out, Holden. It was really funny. You said, I don't remember what you said, but it
You
was
said, I'm
you
gonna
sort
go,
of cut off
and
in
then you just vanished.
you cut off in the middle of the sentence.
Oh, that's funny.
That's what he said.
Here.
Dumbass.
Do I have to expend an extra 5 feet to get past this boil?
Which boyo?
Sorry, hold on. This boil?
No, you can move around him easily enough. There's
Okay,
room.
Cool. So I'm gonna stand here. Summon my black blade. And womp womp.
You womp that, both of them? Womp them.
I'm gonna womp this guy and see if it kills him, but then I'm gonna womp this guy too and see if that kills him after I womp this guy.
Womp it up, brother.
I'm womping.
Ah, womp it! Womp it real good.
Right now. Hold on. Imagine yourself womped.
Okay. So you swing your greatsword, at this creature's flying just above you in the air. Actually, probably at like eye level for you in the air. Nick is streaming though it's holding with a man bun. I wouldn't call it a bun, but you swing your greatsword and it actually kind of manages to maneuver out of the way. Or actually, well, no, you technically have advantage on the flank, but yeah, it's still only a 9, so it manages to move out of the way. With a little cackle, it looks to you and goes, ah!
Turn back and womp again.
Oh, that's a bigger one.
Okay, you womped it real good, and describe its death to me.
So the first swing is gonna whiff completely.
Yeah.
And Preston's gonna go, fuck. And then he's gonna hear the cackle and just turn around and stare it dead in the eyes with one hand. He's just gonna fucking cleave it in half. And
Epic.
then really deeply go get womped.
What's in it? My girlfriend Clara just made me some sort of boozy smoothie, and I don't know what's in it. Do you want to see me take my first sip?
Boob me.
What? You don't know if I'll like it? I'll try it.
Booby smooby.
It tastes like one of those creamsicles.
Like a
You're a
pussy.
creamsicle.
What's in that? Is there
Ooh,
Pussy.
I have a
is there
shake
tequila
in
in
my
that?
freezer. I'll be right back.
I can taste tequila, I think. That's
like
and
Watson's shake.
OJ.
I changed
And-
my blade name.
Black blade.
Womp.
Orange vodka. Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a creamsicle.
Hold on, I'll make you. my
There's
cream
3 shots in this thing? Oh, I'm gonna get drunk playing D&D. Okay. I love you.
On
Okay.
3 shots.
Well, I've already had a couple
fucking
of beers.
lightweight.
And
Oh.
I am a lightweight, in fact. Anyway, so yeah,
I
you
know,
do that.
I-
I'm sorry to
sorry.
interrupt your epic moment, but as you do so, as
Epic
you
gamer moment.
yeah, your epic gamer moment, as your blade pierces it and it kind of stops cackling and you pierce it through. Rather than blood, your blade is covered in dust.
Oh, here, I changed my name. Ignore this one.
Get whomped. It did get whomped. Okay, anything else from you?
Whomper.
I rolled 3d6 and got fucking 10 damage.
Yeah, that's a bit of an oof, buddy.
Oof.
A 1, a 2, and a 3.
Alright, hold on. I think I can actually, if I'm remembering correctly, which I might not be. Okay. Then I'm going. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good fucking use of that. So.
That's a good
I'm
fucking
gonna-
alright.
Nah, that should be done. That
Okay.
should be done.
Booga booga booga.
Okay. So that happens, and finally, it is their turn.
Everybody's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. So now I get to actually use their stat block. The one immediately in front of you, Percival, kind of flies in front of you, and it is going to let's
Miss
see.
all of its attacks. Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my god! I just realized. Okay, never mind. No, it's fine. It's going to, let's see, 15 foot. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. As it kind of inhales again, you see its chest puff up like it's about to explode, and then exhales dust. Okay. And then
Holy
you-
shit.
Okay. This man manages to kind of avert his gaze and jump out of the way, taking a bit of damage from that, however. Okay. And then you are... What happens is you see it kind of exhale dust, and you don't react in time, and your eyes are covered, and you are blinded.
Epic.
Yeah. In fact...
No damage?
No damage. In fact, Sam, I also need you to make me a dex save. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Same happens to you. As you're kind of in the heat of battle, all of a sudden dust kind of in a wave hits your face and your eyes are covered and you're blinded. I will tell you,
Oh, shit.
you can use you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns. So after you've done everything else, at the end of your turn, you can repeat the saving throw, and on a success, you will be unblinded.
So what does it do?
You're blinded. If you want to
Being
know, like
blinded,
in game, you have disadvantage on pretty much everything. I can pull up the actual condition for you if you'd like. Give you the actual. Let's see. You can't see and automatically fail any ability checks that require sight, and also attack rolls against creatures have disadvantage. Yeah, and you have disadvantage on everything else. So anything requiring sight, you automatically fail.
That's doo-doo.
Yeah, it's pretty doo-doo. It could have been much worse if, all of them weren't dead. Dead do.
Did every single one of them
this
have
one-
this ability?
Yes. Let's see. Okay, so that one's going to reach out. This one is going to reach out with its claws and hack into the man in front of it, dealing some damage. And then we're coming back to 6.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna stay exactly like I am. Just keep staring at that guy.
I'm imagining like an
So,
epic like anime scene, like there's dust and battle, like being kicked up all over you guys, and you're just staring at each other.
Fire just burst in front of you.
Yeah, there's fire bursting all over the place, dust being kicked all over, screams and shouts and epic battle and blood.
Letting it all out.
Yeah, and you two are just standing there staring at each other 5 feet away.
Isaac, I was gonna
Intensely.
say that.
I'm curious about this. I want to see if he does anything. So
He continues staring at you.
I stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you do so, he looks to you, and then he turns his gaze to you, and it is an intense gaze, like determined.
His lips.
And he looks to you and says, in the middle of battle, not paying attention to the thing probably about to attack him from behind, again, he says, "You've earned my favor with that. Don't lose it." And then he's going to turn around and pull out a small dagger.
Smagger.
Smagger.
Careful.
And with
No.
2 swipes of his blade, this thing is going to be cut down in front of him. And then he turns back to his people. Sam.
Okay.
P-E-E-B-L-E. People.
I'm assuming
I will use
he
25
meant
movement
by
speed to move here.
healing what's her name
What's that?
or whatever. Did he mean by healing what's her name?
You can assume.
Okay.
In game, you would have done that, and then like 3 seconds later, he looks to you and says, "You've earned my favor with that. Don't lose
Got
it." Yeah. Sam, you will be moving through. Well, no, you could kind of walk around the piles of dust. Oh, yeah, you won't have any. Well, you're blinded is the
I
thing.
very specifically moved. Here. Step on Dust Boy. Here. And where I am now.
Which normally would be fine, but you're blinded. I don't know if you could do that carefully blinded.
Does the status effect say anything about movement?
You're blind.
I mean, not technically, but I'm going to say being blinded and walking through a battlefield, you wouldn't be able to move that carefully.
Yeah. That's weird that they don't write anything about that in
Yeah.
the source material.
No, he makes a point, but I'm going to add that for myself. If you would like, you can move in that direction and put in, let's see, actually, how was that only 25 feet of movement? Okay, then actually, then technically, I'm gonna call Percy just difficult terrain using double movement. So then you'd be up to 30. I'll allow it.
It has been allowed.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to like think of this. Like, if you had like been thinking of moving there before, and then you were blinded, you could still kind of move in that direction, blinded. And Percy, you kind of like feel you feel Sam kind of like bump up behind you, and you kind of push him in the direction he was moving.
What are you, fucking blind?
You are also blind. Actually, you'd have no idea it's Sam because you're also blind. So you just feel somebody bump into the back of you.
Now here's the real question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe I'm technically flanking this guy. Am I flanking this guy?
You are not.
Okay. But this guy I am. Right?
No, technically not. You need to have somebody immediately adjacent. Like so like if you had an ally here, you would be flanking.
Well, how is Percival flanking that guy? Oh well, I'll just fucking swing
because
at the dude.
there's one here. Because there's technically an ally here. That's how he was flanking him.
Just gonna swing at fucking dude next to me.
Okay. You do have disadvantage, but it looks like it doesn't matter.
Doesn't.
Yeah, so you blindly kind of move forward toward where you last saw this thing. You start swinging your scythe at it. Like, maybe you don't take the time to, remove the dust from your eyes. It's kind of caked on there. But you kind of, like, as you're moving, some shakes off, and you can just barely see enough to kind of swing your scythe at what you believe is not a cloaked ranger. And your scythe does pierce it for 12 damage, and it kind of cries / cackles like as you do so. So you're pretty sure you hit it.
Then I'll do it again.
And you do it again, and this time
Nice.
more dust covers your eyes as you kill it, and it kind of poofs.
The Sandman.
Mr. Sandman.
Suck on my teeth.
That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. Zelfer, did you have anything amazing you were wanting to do, or can I go ahead and
What?
these two archers over here, go ahead and aim at the last one, put a couple arrows into it, and it's dead.
No. Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, unless you had something epic to do. Now here's the thing.
Fireball.
I need everyone. Let's see.
To start touching themselves.
Everyone
I'm way ahead of you.
except for Menon and Zelfer to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Probably because you didn't do anything.
Oof.
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 Okay.
Uh-oh.
So Sam,
So how dead am I?
Sam, you're just fine. You're kind of in your blind swing. You kind of like fall back just a little bit. You're fine. However, Percy in 6. Let's see. Actually, just 6. You're only going to take 1 point of poison damage as the creature in front of you, all at once, almost explodes in a cloud of dust, and you kind of jump back, and it just kind of some of it singes you. You only take 1 point. Percy,
great.
though, as there are 3 around you. Oh man, you're gonna take 13 points of poison damage as all 3 of the ones around you do the same.
Good one, man.
And then, oh no, okay. Give me 1 moment while I calculate the rest.
Oh, jeez.
Blake, are you okay?
Are you gonna live?
Man, I hope so.
Ooh.
I got plans, man. Like seeing my best bud Isaac this weekend.
Jesus, fuck off.
Why?
What are you, fucking gay?
No, I just love him.
You're gay, dude.
We love you.
That's pretty fucking gay.
Imagine
Wow.
being homosexual in this day and age.
Okay, so Menon
I
and
killed-
Zelfer, what you see is all at once, all these creatures explode in a cloud of dust, and everyone around this is kind of all at once screams like you're obviously in pain. And as the dust settles, all that is left is dust. There is no sign that these creatures ever existed except for a thick layer of dust all over the ground. Yeah, all over the ground. Except for one dead man lying in the center, and a couple of
Whoa.
people over here on death's doorstep. And immediately they all kind of scramble to each other. These two are without second thought, as soon as the battle is apparently over, these two archers run to their friend, are trying to help him. Ravina gets up and is trying to help her men around her. They all kind of go into like recovery mode with each other. And this decorated man kind of just steps forward and looks down at the man lying quite bloodied on the ground here and singed.
Little toasty.
He's just staring down at him silently. What will you guys do?
That's my rapper name, by the way.
Mr. Six, Mr. Six.
Yeah, but
I killed 10.
And then you
that was
Six
pretty good.
quietly, Six, you hear the decorated man say 11.
Do I hear him say that?
You would not.
Oh.
11, 6.
Didn't he just
I
say
said
would
you
not?
did not hear.
Oh, I did
that.
not?
No,
My
you would
bad.
not.
Oh, damn.
I
Then I'm super excited about 10, and I go and sit down.
wouldn't find it too crazy for you to not you just make the distinction. You see them looking down at this man and then go 11, 6, 11.
then I just go sit down at the table.
I'm gonna
And
go.
open
I'm
my
gonna go
book.
I'm
and
gonna
start
go up
reading.
to the guy and put my hand on his shoulder. Just.
Okay. We'll get to that in just a moment. Sam, he just kind of asked, water. Can I get water for my eyes? And then actually,
Six says some.
Six has some. Six, are you just gonna walk over to Sam and help him?
Yes.
Sure thing. So Sam, you don't know who, but somebody kind of starts washing water over your eyes, and you're able pretty easily after a few moments to wash it out, and you see it's Six helping you out.
I speak in a weird low-pitched voice, so you don't know who it is.
And then when your eyes clear, I go, aha!
Peekaboo, it was me all along.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Menon, so Zelfra's sitting down. I'm sorry, Menon was about to do something, but Percy, what are you doing?
Well, I was just poisoned. That shit hurted.
Yeah, you're still blind
Yeah.
and in
I'll sit
pain.
down.
You just sit down. Okay. Are you gonna maybe kind of
I'll,
try to rub the sand out of your eyes a bit?
Yeah, I'm also gonna use. It's my second win ability. To regain hit points of 1d10 plus my fighter.
Nice.
Okay. You can do that, and I assume you're kind of getting the sand out of your eyes. Six kind of turns around and helps you as well. Maybe pulls the same trick. Oh, I will help you, sir. And all of a sudden, ha! It was me.
Wow.
Menon.
I love how your voice is that high pitched.
Fucking die.
Menon, you walk forward to the decorated man, yet to be named, and you put your hand on his shoulder. I assume you're doing so gently.
Mhm.
He does not react. Still staring down. As actually at this point, this man I'm pinging here is now trying to perform some sort of really poor CPR on the guy who is not making it. And as your hand is on this man's shoulder here, he kind of just you see his shoulders go up and down with a heavy sigh.
I tell Percy, I think this is pink eye, buddy. You need to wash your hands more.
Maybe
Would
you
I
should
be
stop
at-
shitting all over my clothes when I'm asleep then. 6.
Would I be able to tell if there was any way to help the guy, or is he like super fucking dead?
You can walk forward and check on him if you'd like.
I'll check him.
Okay, so if you kind of walk around and kind of look him over, I'm going to tell you right now, just from looking, maybe by some miracle, this man will be able to save him with CPR, but it's not looking good. It looks like he might already be dead.
Do I think that a healing spell would help?
Make a medicine check for me.
Have I ever
You got
told you
it.
about the story about how the kid at my camp farted on another kid's pillow and the kid woke up with pink eye?
You have now, and I'm glad you did.
I
You have
shit
told me
not.
that story.
Yeah, dude was like, I'm gonna fart on your pillow, and the other guy was like, no, don't. And then he farted on his pillow, and he woke up the next morning with pink eye, and everybody was like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
You're really not sure, Menon. Zelfra, what book are you reading?
I have opened my
And
spell.
why is it making that noise?
Fuck it.
Going
gonna
to my
try-
spell book and then my also how to make friends.
Okay, so you have those couple of books out, and you're just reading them over.
Even though I have no idea, I'm gonna try it anyway. Hold on.
I will note these candles that were on the tables when you guys walked in. They were lit. They are no longer lit. They're covered in dust.
Oh, I clear it off and go, haha.
Yeah.
Light it on fire.
There's
Light
like
it on fire and set it next to me.
I'm sorry. Give me just a moment. What spell are you using?
To light it?
Yeah.
Prestidigitation.
Are you using prestidigitation or are you?
There's dust in the air.
Yeah, I use prestidigitation.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let me think about this for a moment.
Why would you do that?
Okay, you clear it off
That's
before.
all
Yeah,
cool
it
for
lights.
the
It lights.
screen.
It lights.
Well, I use prestidigitation to clear it off,
Yeah.
and then prestidigitation's to light it.
Yeah.
Multi-purpose.
Actually, roll me a d10.
I can do that, Holden. It is well within my capability.
Wow. Is it though? It's saying that word isn't.
Did you just have a stroke? Are you okay?
I'm having a
Blake is
strong.
a stroke.
He just stronked out. Okay. Yeah, it does clear off.
Fame's not having a strong collarbonchal.
Here's the thing though, Zelfer. When you clear it off with prestidigitation, normally, that's something you can do with snap of the finger, real easy, and you do so. But you took a slightly more effort than usual to clear this dust, for some reason. Whether you make something of that or not, it's up to you. But you can light it now. Yes.
Everyone hears me go peculiar,
Oh.
and then go back to
Kind
reading.
of echoes and bounces off of the stone walls. Menon, you were going to cast something?
Yeah, I said I was gonna try anyway. I'm gonna reach down and touch him and cast the Cure Wounds, which I rolled already. Like I said, I had no idea if it was gonna work, but I thought it was worth trying anyway.
Okay.
Good.
So that's gonna be 6.
God, I love drinking.
I want you to roll me a flat d20. And I'm going to do the same.
On an odd number, your titties fall off.
Ooh, fancy.
Should get an odd number. Holy shit.
Titty be gone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real honest
Bada
with
bing,
you.
bada bong, titty be
I'm gonna
gone.
tell you exactly what I just did. This is meta, but I'm gonna tell you what I just did. This man is supposed to be dead, but I figured we'll give her a shot because I'm telling her that she can't tell. And I had you roll a d20, and I rolled a d20, and I kind of took my d20 as his willpower, right? If his or what his lack of willpower, if your roll 20 beat his, you might have saved him. He rolled a 3. And I was like, oh god, she might actually save him. I wasn't planning for this. And then you rolled a 1.
Get fricked.
So
Hey.
close.
If you had saved him, Zelfer would not have apologized.
So,
Zelf
Menon,
never
you lean
apologized for
down.
anything.
You lean
It's in his
down,
backstory that he
kind of,
doesn't- yeah.
you lean down and you get on your knees and you kind of lean forward and you
Start sucking.
you start sucking, right? And you touch his chest with your hand, trying to heal him, trying to do something. And the man who is just performing some terrible form of CPR kind of leans back. He's on his knees as well and watches you doing so, just praying.
Ooh.
And you can actually see his lips like quivering and moving a little bit as if he's reciting some sort of prayer. And you perform your magic and nothing happens. And after there's a few moments of silence after nothing happens, the man kneeling before you, this one I'm pinging now, looks like his lips begin to quiver and he looks like he's about to cry when the decorated man standing beside you says, remember the tenets, brother. Stand up. And this man reluctantly stands up. And this decorated man looks to you again and he reaches out to grab your hand to pull you up.
Yeah, I'll take it.
And he pulls you up, and he takes your hand and holds it with the other. So he has your hand in between his, and he holds both your hands and he says, "I thank you for your efforts." And then very coldly he says that, and he turns around, and walks toward the rest to check on everyone else. So what is everyone else doing?
Is the dust out of my eyes? Can I see again?
Yeah, you can see you're good.
Epic.
Okay, Sam moves over to the dead man. What you doing, Sam? Menon is standing, probably almost crying. Or actually crying, that's up to her.
I'll kneel over him and whisper a prayer
And as you do so, you whisper a quick prayer. You actually notice, as he's lying on his back, there's an insignia on his chest that looks similar to your crest. It looks, again, like many of the crests you've seen, it looks like, you know, somebody drew it and then erased it and handed it out to someone else, and someone else drew it and somebody else drew it. It looks like a very strange permutation, but you can see the resemblance.
It's watered down.
It's watered down, yeah. No, it's a fancier, kind of a watered down version of your crest.
Noticed.
Nope, then you don't notice. That's okay.
My eyes are closed, and I'm just trying to say a prayer.
Okay, you do not notice then, sorry. Percival walks... Okay, so, Percy, you walk up to the throne. Okay, Percy walks up to the throne, past these strange stairs that weren't here before, when he lived here. And you take a seat after dusting off the throne.
Yeah.
Okay, you sit down on the throne, one of the thrones. Or, tell me this.
I would know which one the king's one is, right?
Yes. Would you want your
Yeah, I would
king's...
sit down on the king's one.
Okay. Yes, this is the king's one. Okay. Six looks at Menon. She looks crushed. That's sad. Who crushed Menon? Was it one of the devil mosquitoes? Was it the fireball? Weird. As Six is thinking this, you hear behind you, Six, the voice, a voice say, "Everyone get up. We need to begin immediately." And, you know, everyone stands up. And you recognize it as a decorated man, and Ravina and all them kind of stand up reluctantly. And Ravina says, "You two, pick him up. We'll get him a proper burial." And then, you know, these two right here, this one actually almost crying now, kind of pick up the deceased man as I imagine Sam is wrapping up his prayer. And they kind of carry him, you know, one grabbing the legs, one grabbing the arms. They kind of carry him over toward the entrance here. And at this point, the two spearmen who were guarding the front kind of enter the scene and go, and they both gasp. And these two actually say, "Take him to the front. We'll take care of this later." And they nod and they take the deceased man out. And these two archers they stand next to each other, not embracing each other, but kind of closely just nodding at each other in acceptance. Oddly enough, the blue glow from where the strange door once was is still there, fainter but still there, and so are the purple clouds. Noted, Sam.
I approach. Gosh, what's her name?
Ravina?
Ravina.
You're nailing it today.
Yeah, pretty good. And I will say,
Yeah, pretty
where's
good.
your brother?
Let's see. So I'll say somewhere moving. These two were starting to walk out. And let's see. So these three are here. You say, "Where's your brother?" And she looks at you and goes, "I wish I knew."
What brother? He's dead to me.
What are these purple clouds?
I wish I knew. And as you're having this discussion, what's up? Oh, you're stirring it for me?
Would I see any of the other soldiers with
thank
that
you.
crest?
I'm sorry? Go ahead.
Would I see any of the other soldiers with that crest?
Yep, they all have it. It looks less official. It looks like it was literally carved into the leather armor they're wearing. But there's you would see it.
Eden, I want to say I really appreciate you for saying a cuter Flat Stanley, implying that Flat Stanley's cute.
Well, he's a kid.
Wow, you're going to jail.
Six, as you're having this conversation,
Cuter isn't, forget it.
Yes.
the decorated man kind of walks toward the throne and stands directly in front of Percival.
Okay.
And continue with you.
And what were those flying things?
I wish I knew.
Once more for the people in the back.
Yeah. I wish I knew. And Sam, you come to approach the other archer here. But Six, go ahead. You're asking questions. She says, all I know is Reggie thought, God, I'm glad he's not here. He'd kill me for saying that. He thought that if he
The legacy.
he thought he found something that could help us or save us, some treasure in a plane beyond our own, some heebie-jeebie bullshit. I guess it's not completely bullshit, and she kind of gestures toward where the I'll just say it, the portal once was.
Jesus.
And
Thank you, good.
and she says, I guess it's not all bullshit, but I don't know what he was thinking just jumping in there. I don't know where he is. I don't even know where to begin. All I know is that he went into the dungeon, he found something, he came back up, did something stupid, and here we are. You came in the middle of it.
Well, best case scenario, he's out of our hair.
He's out of our
And I'm an
hair.
insensitive asshole.
And she kind of
like
like purses her
to-
lips at you saying that.
I'd like to make note that some of us are still in combat, I guess.
Oh, hey, yeah. Sorry.
Well, I wanted to be in combat. Fireball
see that.
again.
Fireball, just fireball the center here.
I mean, I don't have any more level 3 spell slots, so I can't do it, but I'd try.
I bet you would. You kind of like extend your hand and then.
Okay, I'll just have to do Scorching Ray then.
After she purses her lips, I continue for a while we find him safe and sound.
Smooth like crunchy peanut butter.
And she kind of stumbles on her where and she kind of sighs and shakes her head and says, I can't dwell on this. Do not dwell. She kind of repeats.
Do you know
And-
how he opened the portal?
I don't. He said something about an artifact. That's about it.
Okay.
He said
well,
there were a
in
bunch
that
of them
case-
in the dungeon. I don't know what the hell he was on about. That's why I was trying to stop him. I didn't know. I don't want to lose my brother.
I can
Brother.
understand that. In the vein of that, may I introduce you to the King of Direwood? I'll just go ahead and point to the throne.
Is he though? Is his dad dead?
And
Do we know?
We all can only assume.
And she kind of looks over as you say, introduce you to the King of Direwood. Did you have more to that, or?
No. I just see where that lands, I guess.
And at the same time this conversation is happening, Sam, you approach one of the archers, and how do you bring this up?
I look at his crest and I ask where he got it.
He says,
Why he has it?
he says,
Good sir.
I carved this in myself. I'm the personal guard
Why?
of the commander.
But that looks like my crest.
You don't have your armor anymore, do you? No, you
but
said
I
you
still have
yeah.
my crest.
Right. It's a separate thing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Do you show him?
Yeah.
He looks at it and says, "Looks like somebody told you how to make it, and then you made it without knowing how it really looked." And he points to his. This is the
Without
mark.
knowing how it really looked.
This is the mark of the protector of the protectors. I am a
This is
defender
mark
of the defender.
Dire.
The mark of the dire. All right, Mr. Ancient
This is
Man.
a Dire family crest.
He kind of raises his hand and says, "Listen, I'm all about tradition. Maybe there's something more to that, but
I don't know. I want to know why yours looks like mine.
And he says, "I want to know why yours looks like mine. Where did you get that? Are you
Mine's
a
older.
ranger? Are you one of the old guards?
I don't know what the fuck a ranger is. No
Were
one
you-
explain to me what the fuck a ranger is.
Were you
I
one
told
of the?
you it's like a druid but with clothes.
Shut the
Oh, right,
fuck
right.
up! Shut up!
That's why you're fucking the druid.
Oh my god, you're right. Fuck, I got off track.
Look, I just got here like a week ago, if even.
He says, "Oh, that explains it. Were you one of the city guards when the explosion happened? Is that one of the original crests?"
Oof.
Not when the explosion happened, but I was the original city guard, I guess.
The original
Before
city.
it was a city.
He says, "That sounds interesting to me. You'll have to share that over a drink sometime. Maybe back at home base, but right now, I don't know what
Maggot home base.
the boss is gonna want us to do, but I think we have some work ahead of us."
Sounds like you're a little
And I
bitch.
say, fair, and then I will my armor back on.
And he kind of jumps back just slightly, like not like scared, but just caught off guard, like whoa, at your armor just kind of reappearing and solidifying around you. He goes, "Well, that was a neat trick," and with that, 6 gestures, and I'd like you to meet the king. And Ravina looks over and kind of Suddenly, she kind of shakes out of her sorrow and is in shock at seeing someone sitting on a throne. And we'll move over to Decorated Man and Percy. And Decorated Man kind of steps in front of you.
Is now resting on the throne.
Right. And he kind of walks up to you and just he looks down at you sitting there. He's almost your height. You're probably slightly taller than him, but you know, he's still above you if you're sitting. And he just looks down at you.
You're not one for many words, are you?
Not
I'll take
normally.
that as a no.
I
No.
do many words when few words do trick.
Thank you, Kevin.
Perhaps you don't know whose throne you stood upon.
Yeah, my father's.
Your father's. Hmm.
I don't believe I stuttered.
Not many people called him that.
I know his son probably did.
He kind of squints at you. He says, "This is no time for games, boy."
Ooh, he boyed
I'm
you.
gonna ask that you
You're standing in front of
Boyed
me
you.
for why?
I'm sorry, everyone was talking. What was that?
You're standing in front of me for why?
To ask
For
you to
what?
step off of the throne that belongs to nobody but the king.
Step off.
I'm trying to decide if I want to fight him now or later.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no.
I'll help.
He's gonna point an arm out to the other throne and goes, "If you want to take a seat, be free. It's it's my castle, me castle, two castle."
He
Castle
points.
S2
He
castle.
points at it as well. Says, "That is the queen's throne." He points to you. "That is the king's throne. You are not my king. You are not my commander. Step off the throne now."
I'm gonna stand up and look him directly in the eyes, and I'm gonna say, "If I was king, I wouldn't hire the likes of you," and then sit back down.
Ouch.
And he says, "It's a good thing I wasn't hired then."
Oh yes, explosion. Oh, your master gone. What are you gonna do? Cry to the strongest person near you?
He kind of he sighs, and he turns around without looking at you. He says, "I suppose that's all right. Doesn't mean anything anyway. I suppose if you want to squat on somebody else's territory, it's not my business." And he walks away. He begins walking away.
Okay.
And
Alright,
as he's walking away, he's mumbling something
what's
about.
it called? Hold up. What's that called?
Thanksgiving clap.
When you walk out of someone's fucking square.
Attack of opportunity.
Yeah. There you go.
No, and as he's walking away, you kind of hear him mumbling something about, the king is gone, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. There's no one to sit on the throne. Blah 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 blah. And he starts walking away. And Ravina is kind of like shocked walking over, and you see her kind of like walk over and
Can I say one thing back to him real quick?
yeah,
What is he holding a sword?
he's not holding anything.
Oh. Okay, it's not gonna work then.
Say it anyway. Doesn't have to make sense. That's
No, it
Zelfer's
doesn't.
rule.
Yeah.
It does though.
But you see Ravina like rush up the steps and goes, "Cap, come out! He's sitting on the," and he raises his hand and goes, "Doesn't matter. When the king is found, he will take his throne once again, and that man will be beheaded first." And then he begins walking away. And Ravina kind of just stands there, like mouth open wide, and looks at you and goes, she kind of like mouth open wide and is looking at you like, she doesn't know what to do. And he continues
Do I hear
walking.
him say that?
You would.
All right. Then with my action of shared passage, I'm going to use my bonus action to teleport up to my speed in unoccupied space that I can see. Right in front of him, right in front of his face.
Okay.
Literally right in front of him. Between him and Navina.
Whoop. That's the noise it makes me teleport.
He's saying that as he's walking away from her. If you want to teleport, you can. I'll put him back here. He was saying that as he was like walking by her. So like you can
Okay.
teleport on the steps in front of him.
Yeah.
Okay. You teleport right in front of him, and with impeccable speed, like as if he knew you were gonna be there. He probably didn't. You can assume, but as soon as you appear, he says, "Or would you like to be beheaded now?"
Fight, fight, fight.
He's going to lean
fight.
in, and I'm going to try to intimidate on this one. I'm going to say, do you want to remember or be remembered?
You can roll intimidation.
Roll to intimidate. Intimidate. Roll. 7.
Oh, where's the button?
7. Damn.
Okay.
Really hope
You lean in and said, "Would you like to remember or be remembered?" And he so he's going to try to walk by you. Are you going to try to stop him?
Tripping.
Or are you just going to let him keep walking?
Pull
I'll
a
let him
men
keep
and
walking.
tripping.
Okay, he keeps walking and he says, "True men don't dwell on such things." And keeps walking by you.
A shepherd with no flock is just an idiot with a stick, my friend.
And, and he turns to you and says, "Ah, quite a flock you have here. Destroying mine. The blood is on his hands."
Oh, one fatality. Boo-hoo.
And at this point, Ravina says, "You watch your tone, boy. You're speaking to the..." And the commander raises his head again. He says, "No. He'll be beheaded first." And he continues
I'm
walking.
speaking to swine, as far as I'm concerned.
And she goes, and she's like gritting her teeth now, looking at you.
Percy, it's not worth it.
And at this point,
Pick one character
actually,
that she likes. Make
actually-
a different one that she doesn't.
at this point, all of the guards have kind of like walked up and like assembled for
Avengers.
who I've now revealed to be the commander. You've heard it said enough that you can assume this man is the commander of some sort, and they've lined up, looking like they have their weapons drawn, looking at their like they're ready for battle. And he says to them, "No, not this one, not now. He'll suffer more before." And they kind of nod.
He spent 15 years in a dungeon
Empty
already.
threats, my guy. Empty threats.
Does Menon say that?
Yeah.
And he says,
No.
he spent 15 years where? What did you say?
For
Um,
dungeon.
You said in a dungeon?
In a secluded
Yes.
dungeon, chained up. Yep.
Yeah, in a secluded dungeon. Okay, so he spent 15 years in a secluded dungeon already. And he says, a dungeon's too good for him.
That was pretty
Yeah.
roomy, you know? Not a lot of couches or TV, but...
And
What's the TV?
What's the TV?
Ravina is gonna start walking down the stairs, and she's gonna kind of like, not to do damage, but she's gonna kind of like push past you, like bash you with her shield a little bit as she walks by.
I will specifically try to brace myself so that I don't budge.
Let's make contesting strength checks.
I love
Contexting.
contexting.
Contexting. Let's make some
I love
contextual strength chess. Yeah.
Let's make some
Chess?
The poop gods frown upon me today.
Okay, well, my 18 to your
Wow.
8, she is gonna budge you a couple of feet. You kind of stumble a little. You don't like go flying back. She doesn't knock you over. Like you braced and you were kind of ready.
I have a fucking 18 in strength, so...
Do I see
You rolled a
this?
4 and got 4. There behind the pillar, you would not.
Damn.
Um,
You're lucky.
But she kind of pushes you with her shield as she walks by, and you stumble a little bit, but you catch yourself. You weren't like thrown down, and they all kind of assemble over here. Let's see. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to do before I move on?
Oh, I was
real
looking
quick,
at the,
what is this thing?
That is the pedestal on which the strange gateway levitated above, which you would think would disappear with the strange gateway, but has not. There's nothing there.
Okay,
It
well,
is
I'm
just
gonna
like
walk over
extra steps on top of the steps. A strange blue, not glowing, but almost like neon sort of,
Bam, look at me, I'm there.
steps. Okay, you're there. 6 has been waiting quite a while. What were you saying?
Oh, it's fine. Is there any food on the table here? It looked
No.
like there might be food.
No, I'm
Damn.
sorry.
Damn.
The
All right,
No.
no, that's fine. All right. In that case, at some point, I wouldn't mind searching. Whoops, the table that I'm pinging here, just sort of giving it a glance over and whatnot.
Zelfer finishing up his book would head to the nearest giant gird.
Okay. You head to the nearest
God damn
giant
it.
gird. It does look like a giant gird. No, the armor, like the suits of armor look just like gird.
How big is it?
Like 15 feet tall.
How big is it?
Does it look like it's attached to the floor?
Make an investigation check.
Shrink it and put it in your
And
pocket.
while he's doing that, did anybody else have anything you're doing?
No, sir.
Oof.
You kind of walk over and kick the foot. It doesn't budge, so you can guess it probably is secured to the floor.
People who are over there. Is this thing bolted to the floor or connected to the floor in any way?
They ignore you. It looks like they're about to start speaking to each other.
All right. How big? It's 15 feet.
About 15 feet tall. Oh no, what is he doing?
He's judging sizes.
Mr. People, would it break anything if it got bigger?
Mr. People.
Sam has the scythe, just leaning on it. Okay. See, here's the archer. Well, okay. All of the soldiers here are standing straight and almost as if they're in formation. And Ravina kind of calls over to you. Don't mess with the artifacts.
Messing with the artifacts. I kind of lean against my staff and kind of crack my knuckles and look at it.
And Ravina,
Mr. Percy!
Ravina shouts, "Six, can you please stop this idiot before he damages something important?"
Mr. Percy!
Probably not.
I scream out, Mr. Percy!
I would, yes.
Can I make it bigger?
I am not your parent.
But it's your place.
Fair point.
I mean, it kind of is his place. Yeah, that's
Can
true.
I make it bigger?
I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm king or not. It literally is my place.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I make it bigger?
You go for it, kiddo.
Woo!
It's where you grew up, so yeah.
I'm gonna step back 10 feet. Crack my knuckles. Point at it with my free hand. Holden.
Hey.
Make it bigger!
He's
Isn't
gonna
that for
yell
a
back
creature?
Creature or object. It says so right there.
Yell back to Jeffrey, I'm gonna say, if it pisses Grumpy McFuckface off, go ahead, dude.
Oh god.
I make it twice as big. 30 feet.
God damn it.
Okay, so it's 30 feet tall, and there's kind of a clattering as its head, as the helmet kind of hits the ceiling, and it scrapes up against the wall behind it, and the helmet actually falls off and falls down in front of you. Now this is here instead. And the archer here kind of actually is like, and it kind of wiggles. Oh shit, this thing's too big. I can't actually select the archer. Hold on. Kind of like wiggles over, wiggles over. And the formation kind of, Ravina just kind of nods and the formation shifts. And Sam, as you're kind of like leaning on your, god damn it, it's too big. As you're leaning on your scythe, they all kind of move toward you. It almost looks like you're in formation with them now.
So the head's down?
Yep.
How big is it?
The helmet itself is like 5 feet tall.
Could I sit in it? Or on it?
You sure could.
I kind of clamber on top, sit crisscross applesauce with my staff across.
Maybe not crisscross. Maybe you could like lean or sit on it. If you sit crisscross, there's this kind of big spike, or not spike, but like row in the middle. So unless you're like sliding your booty cheeks in there,
I'm sitting next to it, kind of leaning against it, with my staff in my hands. I look over. I made it bigger.
Okay.
For how long?
For how long? Until I don't want it to be bigger.
And these two kind of walk toward each other, and the commander kind of leans in and says something to Ravina, and she nods, and she walks back over here, and very Percy, would you be paying attention at all?
Yeah.
You watching her, you could see the hatred in her eyes.
Fuckface 1 and 2.
Yeah, you could see the hatred in her eyes, and you could see that like she is very intently putting effort into not looking at you. And she walks over to 6, and she says,
And she takes damage.
"Oh yeah, 6, you're over here in the cloud. I'm assuming you wouldn't be standing in a cloud of oof.
Oh no, sorry, I just put myself over by the table. My bad.
You want to move to wherever you would be?
Yeah, here I'll be here.
That is still in the cloud. That is still in the
Right
cloud. Okay,
there.
there. Okay, okay. That great. She walks over to you.
Thanks.
Same deal, and she says, "Listen, our numbers are stretched thin. If you can keep that one in check," and she points over, like you can hear her voice getting angry. She points over to Percy. Percy, would you be like very intently listening, like trying to hear what she's saying, or just watching?
I wouldn't be trying to hear what she's saying, but I would, if I could hear, I'd be listening, with a smirk.
She's speaking quiet. She's trying to keep her voice down, so unless you're intently listening, you would not hear this.
Would I see her point to me?
Yeah.
Okay, then I would start listening.
Okay, so what you don't hear, 6, she just says, well, our numbers are stretched very thin. If you can keep him in check, and she points, Then you start listening. Make a perception check. If you succeed, I'll tell you, and you hear the rest of this.
Bird is suddenly
Okay.
HD.
You're watching her lips move. I'll tell you what you get. And she says, our numbers are stretched thin. If you can keep that one in check, I might have work for you. And honor, prestige, whatever you guys need. Right now, I just want to get my brother back.
What did I hear?
What you heard was you
Pee-pee
you noticed something about honor and prestige. You could kind of like you know watching her lips kind of honor cream cheese something. You know. Maybe you saw maybe you kind of heard her say work or something.
I love cream cheese.
Maybe she also might have heard something about her wanting to behead you. You know.
Well, yeah, that's natural.
I would like to let's see. Oh, yes, we'll help you find your brother. And then I point back over toward Percival, and I lower my voice as well, and I say, "But it honestly is his chair." And I try to say that earnestly.
Make a persuasion check
Okay.
With nipples.
with your nipples,
With
like
nipples.
rubbing your nipples for advantage.
Ugh, my shakes are not as good as when they're not fresh.
Okay, so you lean in and you tell her that, and she her eyes kind of narrows them for a moment. And says, "Do you know if the king is dead or not?"
In the interim, I think he's the only one that has anything to say.
That's one way of thinking about it. And Percy, even though you're having a hard time hearing, unless you want to move closer, you do, because you've heard the word so many times in your life, you easily make out the word king. And she said, listen,
Yes.
the commander isn't gonna like that, especially not now. I just want to get my brother back. I don't know what to do about the throne and all that. Quite frankly, it doesn't even matter right now. Even if somebody is sitting on the throne, and she kind of like, Percy, you see her gesture toward the thrones. So even if somebody's sitting there, it's not going to do much good. Unless I... Oh, God, I don't know what to do. Can I...
would.
I'll
Percy?
Oh, go ahead.
I'll see what I'll try to keep them in check. I say, sort of.
Yeah, please,
Motioning to everyone.
for my sake, or the commander is actually going to kill him, and I promise you he can. He really, really can. I have never seen him restrain himself so much. I think... I hate to admit it.
It doesn't come down to violence.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but I think he might... There's something about him. When he gets a hunch, it's always right. And I'm afraid he might have a hunch that Percy's telling the truth, and that he doesn't like it. He hasn't told me this. I'll talk to him
Where
later.
your brother is.
I'm gonna.
That's what I'm about to
say
find
that
out.
I didn't hear any of that.
Nope.
Percy would not have heard any of that for the sake of what's gonna happen next.
Sure.
He is gonna walk over to her, arms up.
So you kind of, at the end of that sentence, you kind of walk over. Show me how close you would get.
Well, for one, I would get to about here and then stop, and
She's not looking at you. She does not notice you moving.
then I'm not gonna sneak up behind her because that'd be stupid. So I'm gonna go like over here.
Now she notices you.
Okay.
And you
May
see
I
her
talk
eyes
to you?
immediately like
Wow.
flit to you.
Listen, stop that. May I talk to you, person to person, instead of arrogant prick to whoever you are?
That depends. Who's the arrogant prick in that little scenario of yours?
Well, I
To
said
whoever
he
you
said,
are.
So I'm assuming arrogant prick is me, unless you want it to be you.
No, I was just making
Make a
sure you
man
weren't calling my
judgments.
commander an arrogant prick for yelling at or being mad at someone for sitting on the throne.
My throne, but that is in the past.
And you see her grit her teeth at you saying that again.
Okay, fine. If it makes your soul less wavery, the throne, I say, throwing air quotes up. All right.
I would prefer that.
Percy's my favorite.
And she kind of leans over to you, Six, and kind of whispers, like, you know, like through one side of her mouth. She goes, "So much for keeping him in check."
I haven't really had a chance to do
No,
anything.
try harder, please, or I'm going to try and kill him, and I don't know if I'd win that fight.
Would Percy have heard that?
No.
Oh, damn.
And she says, we can talk, but I won't like it.
That's fine. That doesn't matter. I'm sorry for treating your commander like that. I haven't been here for 15 years, and it's a nice kick in the dick to get home.
What?
Make a persuasion check for the sudden change in attitude to be convincing. No. I understand that you're actually trying to be honest, but this is a very hard switch in attitude. It's gonna take some persuasiveness to. That's an
kind of
unskilled.
used a bunch of my abilities, so.
That's an unskilled. I need a persuasion.
Oh.
So you did not get a
God.
6. Yeah. Watch him get a 6 again.
7.
7.
Wait.
7.
Oh, I forgot that's not a charisma check.
Yeah, it is. Oh, that's perception, buddy.
Holy fuck, dude! I'm gonna go to bed. There, how about that one?
7.
And that fucking
Wait, I
20.
had disadvantage?
No. He's just really excited at seeing a 7. He's like this sometimes. You should know. So
I love you, Isaac.
you move forward, and 6.
You're a fucking idiot.
You haven't known this man very long, but this is the most sincere you've seen him so far. And she kind of, you see her shoulders like visibly become less tense, and she looks at you and says, you're claiming to be the heir to the throne legitimately?
Yes, my name is Percival Crafton, son of... I forgot his name. Crafton.
Son of King Crafted.
Son of Redacted. Crafton.
Okay. She says, listen, I've never heard of a Percival Crafton.
He didn't like me very much after I committed treason.
So she kind of starts rubbing her eyes. Let me get this straight. And you see her kind of like flick some dust off, like, fuck. You were the king's son, thrown in a dungeon for 15 years for whatever reason, and now you're back and you're just going to take the throne.
I mean, I sat in it. That didn't mean I was gonna take it. I didn't say I was king. You guys are implying that.
It's a matter of respect, son.
Yeah.
Does not
I
respect.
respect my father. Well, I don't, but I'm gonna say it in the heat of the moment.
And you're going to respect him and his either possible memory or possible return by sitting in his throne in his absence.
I can see you are hopeful that he is alive.
Very.
Okay. Then, yes.
Doesn't make much sense
Can I
to
roll
me.
deception for that? Because Percival hates his fucking dad. He hopes he's dead.
Ding dong.
You know-
what did you say?
Go ahead and roll deception, but with advantage, because she doesn't know that. Oh, good thing I gave you advantage. I'll give you
Yeah, I'll
advantage
take
because
it.
she doesn't know you hate him. She has no fucking clue. This is all weird to her.
Me too, man. I
But,
really
like,
hope he's alive.
You're probably like gritting your teeth as you say that. Yeah. So with a 15, she goes, right. Well, listen, if you really, I don't know how the hell you would prove that, but that would make a really big difference in our plans. But listen, she kind of starts waving her hands. I'll entertain the idea for now, but please don't sit on the throne or do something to piss the commander or me off again. Because here's the thing. If you are the king, if you are the heir to the throne, we're your guard, and we are sworn to protect you. And I don't want to hate you, if that's the case.
Fuck, man. I don't want to hate me either, but here we are.
Please tell me he actually says that.
No.
Oh, okay.
Aww.
No, he loves himself. Are you kidding me? Percy's ego is bigger than fucking Sam's dick.
Sam, like intently?
It's
Like-
not that
Sam-
big.
Oh yeah. Didn't
Okay.
we roll penis size?
I think
I
we
don't
did. I don't
remember.
remember
I
the
got it.
numbers. Yeah.
I
Mine-
had an average penis.
Wait, actually,
And
I
everyone
think
else had monster dicks.
I think I remember taking those numbers down at some point, but we'll continue.
What did they
Fucking-
roll?
I'm gonna look for them quick in my notes,
Wasn't
but
it like a D20?
Are you
D12.
telling me you took all our dicks down?
Yeah, it was a D12.
My dick's 5 inches.
Fuck. Man, it has a bigger dick than me.
You know it.
Wait, why does it say nat failure on my roll 1d12 but gave me a 4? It's red for me. Is it red for you guys?
No, it's blue.
What the fuck? Am I colorblind?
Maybe.
I could have sworn I took this down at some point, but maybe
I
not.
just remember I had like an 11-inch penis and you guys were upset about it.
Zelfer's got a fat cock.
But yeah,
That's why
I
we'll-
rolled a 5 again. With the
while I'm looking through my notes, looking for dick size, we can continue.
Wait, my dick
Sam,
really?
while
5
you've been
inches?
watching, is there anything you'd be doing or saying or?
Wait, where is Sam?
Sam he's over. The line kind of shifted, and now it almost looks like he's in formation. He's not,
Oh,
but he's
Sam's
just kind of.
green, right?
No, this is Sam. I'm pinging out. He's just been
Oh.
leaning on his scythe this whole time, kind of watching what's been
Why
going
are
down
some of
around
us
him.
purple? Zig, stop rolling 5DF.
Sorry.
I don't even know what the fuck is that.
Was there anything you were doing or saying, Sam, or were you're just watching?
Well, I'd
Nice.
probably make a comment about the throne being his or his dad's, and then make a comment about it being my brother's.
But your
Like-
brother's dead.
Yeah, but this conversation's on the other end of the
But
room for
still.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, the
No, but like
conversation-
I'd probably just say that like.
Say it right to the
Faintly.
commander. I'm
God,
sure.
it's
No,
gonna be
I'd say it
real-
enough to where this guy could probably hear it and be like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?"
It's gonna be real awkward when
Family
someone has
reunion.
someone has to lay claim to the throne because there's gonna be 2, possibly 3 people who have very real claim to it.
Oh, don't you worry, there are more.
I would like it just because. Zelfer, king of everything.
No,
Okay.
God,
I will
kill
that
you.
sounds terrible.
So
If
Sam
it is-
makes a couple of remarks about who should have the throne or whatever. While these guys are mumbling to themselves. Menon, what you doing?
I was dead ass gonna
I don't
like
know.
shower today, and then I just took a
Hey,
nap.
Same.
I don't know, pouting, maybe fucking around on the
Are you still
violin.
upset about the death or?
Less upset now, but just half-ass fucking around on the violin. Probably like not too much into it.
Okay, so you're like right behind them, or?
I'd step off a little bit.
Okay, so you're like
Step
over here,
off,
kind of
bitch.
fucking off, playing a little bit. Zelfer, anything of note?
After a minute passes,
Oh. Yeah.
I grab the helmet that I'm now standing next to. How big is the helmet now?
Like 2 feet tall, or 2.5 feet technically.
Would it fit on my head?
Not at all. It would be way too big, like comically big.
Menon!
What?
I look at it, I put the helmet on and start shaking, and it just swiggles.
There's a clunk, 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 clunk.
Buffer, you idiot! Take that off.
No!
And I like how this
Takes
is
it
like
off.
you guys are a good. Hold on, this is happening 60 feet away. So she starts laughing. Zelfer, you idiot! Take that off, and he goes, no, like screaming at each other.
It is very echoey when I scream, so I take off the helmet and look at it. Like, flip it to face me and go, hello.
Okay, we'll get back to wrapping up. Percy, did you have anything you wanted to add to that conversation? 6, did you have anything you wanted to
I
add?
don't exactly remember where we left off.
So she had said, if you're legitimate, if this is real, I'd be your guard. I don't want to hate you, so
Oh.
please just behave.
He
And
would have asked how he can prove it.
yeah, she would kind of like get a little half smirk, half smile. She'd be like, and raise her shoulders. Like, I don't fucking know.
Does this count for anything? I say, turning around and showing the branding of the family crest into my back.
And she says, is that
Fair,
normal?
More than a tattoo would.
Is that normal for? Did they do that?
I told you I was in prison for treason.
Is that a prisoner branding?
I mean,
I've never seen someone with that on their back.
it was treason.
He says deeper.
And at this point, she says, "It was true," and then kind of stops herself and goes, "Okay." And looks back to Six. Six, did you have anything to add?
War, so.
No, not really.
No.
I shrug and nod, smiling.
You do a lot of that.
I do.
Okay, fair enough. She says to you, "Okay," not actually speaking quietly anymore now that Percy's away. She's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go get back in formation. We're gonna talk. I'm sure the commander has a way of always knowing what to do next. So I'm really, really hoping he knows now. I'll let you know if he has anything for you guys."
Continuing to smile and nod, I shrug again and I say, "My other friends left."
Yeah, I was wondering about that. This is you don't have the big werewolf and the bear and the all that. Did they left as in they departed, or did they left as in they departed?
I wink and pretend to zip up my lips.
Her eyes kind of grow wide a little bit, and she goes, "Okay."
6 ate them.
Right. And then she kind of turns around and walks back over here. And
Okay.
she walks over to where Sam is. She's like, you're in my spot?"
No, they moved to me.
You're in my spot. No.
And then the commander kind of calls out, "Please move."
Very well. Since you asked nicely, just move one step back.
And he says, "Would you like to be a part of the formation? Are you one of my guards now?"
I am one of your.
As fun as that would be, no thanks.
And he's like, "Okay then, you standing in the formation is quite odd. Moving on." He says, "Though we have lost a brother, this is not the end of this journey. We have another who is lost but yet to be found." And he starts kind of pacing back and forth, kind of like, speech-esque, looking at all of his men in front of him. And he says, "You are the best of what I have, and I'm counting on you, no matter what, to help me achieve the goal I'm going to lay in front of us. Do you understand?" And all at once, they call out, "Sir, yes, sir!" And it starts, oh my god, Zelfer, with Zelfer in the background, kind of, he puts the helmet,
back and forth.
like, kind of maybe, if the commander were to like raise a finger or make some sort of hand gesture, Zelfer kind of mockingly does it as well, and he's waving his head back and forth with the helmet on, clang, 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 clang.
And I'm looking right at Menon while I do that, pointing at her.
And Menon's probably just like
Trying so
giggling.
hard not to burst out.
Yeah. She's just on the other end of the room going. And
Why does it sound like you're slurping something, my guy?
Oh god, I lost where I was. He says, the best is the best what I have. He continues pacing and he says, "I might ask you to follow me through hell and back next. Do you understand?" And they call again, "Sir, yes, sir." And he and then he paces further over here and looks at Sam. He says, "Are you with us?"
I don't know. I don't even know who you guys are.
Yes. He means yes.
Sure.
Would you like to work?
No.
Do you live in the city?
He kind of
Is
squints
this
at you.
all?
You kind of seem to have caught him off guard. He goes, "We are the Cloaked Rangers, the defenders of the city."
Whatever that means. Is this your home?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes, I'm with you. I guess.
Very good.
It's not like I built it or anything. I mean, Jesus, man.
I'm not joining a formation or anything.
You're already kind of in it.
Well, no, they just moved close to me.
And he kind of stands there, closes his eyes, and just gives a little exhale through his nose. And Ravina goes, she kind of looks around. Would the rest of you like to join in on this, or? And at this point, actually, the commander kind of lowers his head and rubs the bridge of his nose a little bit.
He hasn't been here for like
700 years, so...
That was Ravina
Yes,
calling out
yes,
to the rest of
yes,
you
Something like
guys.
that.
Oh, yes, I would definitely.
Would
Zelfer,
they have heard 6?
Say again?
I asked if they would have heard you.
Oh yeah. Did anyone have anything to say about that?
About you.
Good.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
He's been away for 700 years, so he needs a little catch-up time.
I prefer mustard.
You probably get a couple of confused squints, but nothing in response.
Okay. I did my
Look.
best.
Just so you know, if Percy had said that out loud, Menon would have absolutely fucking broke.
Okay. Are the rest of you gonna kind of come join, or are you just gonna stand in your little corners?
Well,
Yes.
I
I'm approaching.
walk directly into the pillar.
All right, she loses it,
Falls on my ass, making a loud
There's a big
clang.
clunk, 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 clunk.
and Menon like falls on her ass laughing.
And even Ravina kind of looks back and sees what just happened, and a couple of the guards kind of look back, and even some of them start to kind of chuckle. There is no smile on the commander's face. Not even a little bit.
Take off the helmet, turn it to face me, and go, "Bad helmet!" and just yeet it across the court.
Ironically, there's no smile on my face either.
Bad helmet. Holy
Yeeted
hell.
I'm die.
I go to join Percy. Wherever
The
he's
jungle?
at.
I mean, the jungle. The
Where is
dungeon?
Where is
Did I hear
Percival?
something about the jungle?
I go and stand kitty corner to Percival, kind of looking at him.
That's Sam.
That's Sam. Where the fuck is Percy? Oh, fucking hell! I go over here then.
Yeah, no.
Wrong
Percy would
big
stay
white
up there.
guy.
Okay. Menon, where are you
Percy
going?
would
What
stay
you
up
doing?
there, but take a seat.
Okay.
Not on the throne, but on a chair. I mean, same thing, but
Crisscross applesauce with the staff across my lap.
Yeah, Menon would probably eventually pull herself together and join.
All right, where are you moving to? I believe in you.
up my ass. Normal.
You got this. You can do it.
I'm panicking now.
Guys, I swear I'm not stupid. I'm just panicking.
Me all the time, 100%.
Okay, you move to the other.
Oh, I heard the text pop up, and I thought it was a Skype message. And I'm like, I don't have Skype.
Okay, Zelfer does in fact whisper to Percy, "I killed one of them, so it's probably best I keep my distance."
It's a good thought.
So, Six, are you just standing in the middle there, or?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And I go ahead.
The commander says, "If you're with us, formation, please." Yoda Forge.
Sorry, I stepped back alongside him.
He kind of looks at you,
Continue.
squints. Are you?
I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at the man ahead of me.
And
Power move.
without a smile, though, kind of in a voice that seems like he's almost entertained, he says, "Are you my left-hand man now?"
Excuse me.
I'm right-handed.
That's
Sorry,
better.
I have an extreme fear of hands in general.
I'd like to point out I'm still just resting on my scythe, just looking down the
Oh,
line of people.
Oh, hold on.
That's
Can we
alright.
pause for a second?
Mm.
So I have these two fucking kids on my bus, and one of them's like, they're having a conversation. I was like, I don't know about you, but I have a super big phobia to squirrels. Like, they just scare me a lot. So we're driving by through like a bunch of houses, and I look and I point out the window. I go, "Ooh, a bunch of squirrels!" And she fucking screamed.
You're a good
I felt
person.
so bad. I didn't think that she'd fucking go off like that. But
You're
oh,
such a good person.
I know,
You
dude.
are charged with the lives of children.
I know. It's awesome.
Holy
Sonny makes it
fuck.
just touches his nuts. You touching your nuts right now?
No, I'm doing other things like eating my my shake of milk.
He's touching his nuts.
Okay.
They would be smooth if I
Sorry.
was.
Continue.
Right. The commander just kind of shakes his head a little bit and says, "I'll take this," looking at Six, says, "I'll take this as you standing with us, quite literally and metaphorically."
Indeed,
Fair enough.
sir.
Sir, I like that. Are you a strategist by chance?
I am a
Oh,
monk.
He's a monkagist.
I wave.
I have my moments.
I wave my hand. I can do the strategy.
And he kind of, without looking at you, he kind of calls out, "You can do the killing of my men, as far as I'm aware. You have yet to prove anything else.
I can do it again.
I dare you to try."
I look right at Percy.
Zelfer, no.
Zelfer, no. Thank you, baby. That's funny. Zelfer, no.
I hold up my left hand.
Bad.
I wave. I go. I wave my right hand above it, and I start making like really obvious fake magic noises. Bookadoo, lookadoo, shoop, and it starts to spark with prestidigitation.
Jesus.
But when you
Percy,
use
no.
wild magic, don't you literally just start saying like magic words you know? Like,
Yeah, but these are fake magic words, like not actual magic.
Okay.
I'm straight up saying words that if anyone who knew magic would go, "What the fuck is he doing?" And then sparks start to burst out of my hand, and I go, "Ooh, scary!"
And at this
mean
point, the commander looks to Ravina and says, "Is this the group you were telling me about that you thought was so capable and competent that might be able to help us?" And she goes, 2 of them, not that one."
Would I hear them?
"Oh yeah, you're right there."
I would wave enthusiastically.
And she goes,
I'm
and she
the
kind of
other
points
one,
at you and
they
goes,
say.
That's one of them, and he's the other." Oh god.
I'll point out. I'll mention. To be fair, he's weird, but he's capable. I don't know about the other part.
Capable of doing a lot of damage.
That much has been clear.
The smile leaves my face, and I start to actually talk serious tone. Your man's life was forfeit, at the cost of maybe more, and that I feel sorrow. I did not anticipate the death of him. I feel sorrow and wish his soul the best of luck in the afterlife. But I would do it again for the risk of other men dying.
There's a little pause there. And the commander, again without looking at you, calls out, "I'm not as mad that you killed him. It was in the heat of battle. What I'm mad about is that he died to the likes of you. My men are supposed to," and then, looking directly at men, "my men are stronger than that.
Racist.
You are the best of my best, understood?" And another, "Sir, yes, sir," from all the guys lined up. And he says, "As far as I'm aware thus far, this one," pointing to Zelfer, "is a capable caster. This one," pointing to 6, "is a joker. And this one," pointing to Sam, "is potentially a man of honor with a large scythe. That is all I know."
Stop gawking and start sucking my gay.
I would look forward to proving my worth in battle without hurting your men.
You think I'm funny?
Oh.
I want to give 6 a hug.
No words.
All right, campaign canceled. Campaign canceled. We're done. That's it. That's the end.
You can't cancel the campaign because you thought he's funny.
Oh my fucking god. Just the timing, the way he said it, the delivery. Holy fuck. You think I'm
It's so
funny?
genuine.
It was that does get a couple of chuckles from people in the line. And the commander says, "Now!" And like this is the first time you've heard him scream. Normally he's very like calm and collected, you can tell. He screams out, "Now!" And everyone immediately stops laughing and kind of straightens up and fixes their posture. And he says,
This is almost as bad as the biggest dickest skit. Straight up.
he says, "If we are to work with these ones, I want to know their worth. I need one of you to go back to base, find the reports on them, and bring them to me immediately." And
$43 probably, give or take.
You can find the reports on me in a textbook, I guess.
and this one immediately goes, "Sir," and then runs off down the hall.
My worth varies depending on how much I've drank.
Oh my god.
To make of that
the
what
line
you will.
shifts. And he says, "For now," he kind of looks around at the purple clouds or lights, whatever they are, kind of floating about. He says, "This area is still dangerous. I need time to plan, but I know what we must do. For now, Ravina." And Ravina kind of perks up And he says, "Speak to this group of misfits. Do what must be done."
It's a little rude.
Do what must be done. Are you gonna take us with the crossbow out back behind the shed?
He says, "Do what must be done. For now, we'll head back to base."
Blake, you remember how fucking devastated I was when I watched that movie?
To base.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
And
Not
he,
the dungeon?
I could lead you to where they are if you'd like.
we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
He says,
asked-
"For now,"
I asked him, not the dungeon?
he says, "that's where you'll be going. Men, back to base. I have planning
no,
to do."
I don't think so.
And they
Sorry,
start.
that was awkwardly timed.
Yeah, they start kind of they in formation walk out with him, unless anybody would be doing or saying anything to them as they walked out.
Will there
No.
be beds?
I mean,
I don't actually say that.
are we supposed to go with you?
Ravina will take care of you, and he says as he's walking
Okay.
out.
Okay. Alright.
And as soon as
Well-
the commander leaves earshot, as soon as he's out of sight, Ravina kind of like walks back and slumps over, kind of leaning on a pillar, and goes, "Oh my fucking god!"
That could have gone more smoothly.
Understatement
I
of
know,
the year
sadly.
goes to.
Can you? And she shouts over, "Can you two come here? I really don't want to shout."
Oh, Percival would walk over there. Yeah.
Walks over, but there is no more smile on Zelfer's face.
Okay. So Percival comes over. You guys all come over. She says, "No, you," pointing at Zelfer. "You just killed one of my men. I would have your head, but the commander isn't blaming you, which is
Is he your man or is he your commander's man?
I am
You
the
don't.
I am the commander's, and they are mine. By proxy, they are his."
Noted.
You don't want to hear my opinion on that.
I think
we've
I do.
already heard it.
Noted.
I can assure you, you don't want to hear my opinion on the death of a man.
So you're
You can
telling me
ask any
that
of
nice
these.
little speech was deception,
No, it was true.
and you should have
I
rolled
was-
for it.
I was.
No.
It was
What is
true.
rolling for emotion?
However, I thoroughly believe that we are all expendable in the long term.
I see.
And that does include my life, for the betterment of whatever.
Well, as
If
long
right
as
now- If right now I'm helping you, whatever your goal is, as long as my party, gestures to everyone, agrees, then I will gladly lay down my life for anything.
Let's hope no one has to do any of that.
you have some confusing morals, strange-eyed man.
He's learning.
Leans in a little bit closer, blink, blink.
She
No.
says, "I'll have you know, if you're going to work with us, our lives are not as expendable. We will gladly lay down our lives to protect the city and each other." Is that understood? Each other. Because we are the city. Without us,
You are-
these are just walls.
They're pretty walls, and I'd like a piece of one.
I'm sure they were pretty at some point. Anyway,
Are you
the commander, he's going to want you to, all of you, I suppose. I don't know. This is probably one of his hunches. He doesn't talk about them very much, but the fact that he didn't kill you probably means that he thinks you're going to be useful. He wants you to go down to the dungeon where my brother initially found whatever the hell it was that caused that, and she points over at the gate, what once was the gateway, the stairs that led to the gateway. She says, "I don't want to believe it, but I think he wants to reopen it and get Reggie out.
Do you think Reggie's in there?
He has to be.
I
He jumped
would
in.
like-
I don't know where else he could be."
Ah, gotcha.
Zelfer looks at Percy, gets a little smile on his face, and looks back at Ravina. Do you know where your brother is? I think I do.
And she goes, "Really?"
And he points right to his heart. He's in here on all of them.
Men in face palms.
Jesus, man.
like loud, like actual, like makes an audible
Like she
smack.
smacks
baseball.
herself in the face.
Yup. Oh yeah.
Like a solid.
Oh yeah. Yup.
Yeah,
Six takes
Ravina
a shot.
purses her lips again.
Was that rude?
Yes.
Ill-timed.
Pulls out book and makes notes. Puts it away.
Like I said, he's learning. Literally.
Is he a child?
Kind of.
Pretty much.
Socially,
I'm not sure.
Social.
he stands up. Give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna go see what magic, points at the portal, that is. And he's gonna walk over to it, and he's gonna start ritual casting.
And Ravina says, let me think about that. Fucking hell, you mother. Oh God.
Percival,
Yes.
you can show us where the dungeons are?
That was really popping. I don't know. I don't know, man. I guess I got thrown off. Yes.
He was busy thinking about them beans.
I was thinking about them beans.
I was busy thinking about beans.
Yeah, I can bring you back to my apartment, sure.
Wait.
Different dungeon.
Or
Oh.
I can show you where the servants' quarters are.
Show you my servants' quarters.
Wink.
What?
Well, if we're going to find another of these artifacts,
Oh, if
do
you're
you
going
have
down.
to... Yes. What?
But he leans in close to Six. The servants' quarters have bed.
Are we all rested?
I am not.
Let's work on this tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Well, then let's.
Okay.
Should we?
Well, what if we work on it today?
Yeah,
take a-
let's work on it today.
I think we should work on it today. I think this needs to be done
Do we
immediately.
need to? Do we need to take a rest before dungeon?
Yes.
All right. Let's do that.
We haven't rested in a few days.
Give me 10
Oh.
minutes, and then we can rest.
Well, you all can start to rest first.
Oh, I didn't know you were resting. I was just telling you that there were beds there. Because you have an asphyxiation with beds.
I do. That was just the first thing that popped into Six's mind. I don't think we have rested in quite a while.
I mean, a
that
rest
would be a good
nice,
place
so
to
I can
rest.
get some of my shit back.
Ravina does say, this is a very time-sensitive matter, I assume. I have no idea where the hell he is. He could
Yes.
be in hell for all I know. Maybe time is moving slower for him or faster.
However, it wouldn't matter if we got there and we were too tired to fight, and then we just died before we could bring him back.
He has a
We
point.
haven't rested in 2 or 3 days.
Well, that's just inopportune timing. Okay. Well, I don't know about all this. She kind of points at the lights around you, but perhaps you can rest here. The dungeon, it's not too far. It's just, down a few halls. I can show you the way, but I don't know where my brother went, but he went down there, he found something, he came back up here, and he caused all this. So if you can find
Did you see
something
what he
similar... No, I didn't. But if you can find something similar, maybe we can maybe we can open the portal again. Maybe we can get him back. Go get him.
So we're searching for a thing.
Where a thing or a word or I have no idea.
Percival's gonna look up and go, "Oh God, are there gonna be encounters over?"
What?
Percival's gonna ask God if there's encounters where we're going.
You can,
God
you can assume by this
Shall
line-
not
maybe.
say.
Damn.
Oh, he was
God
asking
says
Clara.
that's cheating, get nerfed.
That's meta, you fuck.
All right. Well, let's take our rest and then we'll head into the dungeon. And I assume we'll know what when we see it.
I have no idea.
After
Good. Yes.
10 minutes passed.
10 minutes. Let's say 10 minutes have passed. Conjuration magic.
Ooh, okay. And then because detect magic does last up to 10 minutes, you can bet your ass I'm strolling around the room.
Okay. You would see whatever magic items the players have on them, which you have already seen. Ravina has nothing. The rest of the room has nothing.
Nothing comes from the pink spots.
Actually, nothing comes. Let me think about that.
They're purple.
No, nothing comes from the purple spots. However, there is one on the table over here. One of the small plates is glowing.
I grab the plate.
Okay.
Oh,
This is glowing. What kind of magic?
Oh fuck. Duh. I'm going. It's.
Sensory.
It is a enchantment.
I walk over to Ravina.
Mm-hmm.
This is enchantment. I hand it to her.
She kind of grows wide-eyed and like looks really confused and takes the plate from you and goes, "This is a plate. Oh my
I
god,
can
you
see
guys!
magic.
I'm charging you guys with finding my brother."
That plate has magic on it, and that portal is conjuration magic. That plate has some enchantment magic on it. I can't tell you what it is because I do not have a pearl worth about 100 gold.
She looks down at the plate and says, "Ah, yeah, magic. Must be real valuable. You should hold on to it," and hands it back to you.
I don't take it, and
She goes-
I'm just kind of looking around.
I go, I'll take it.
Oh, okay. Yes, he can take the plate.
She goes,
Just
"Here,
think
here's
about
a
it.
here's a magical plate for you.
I don't like
Just
to be
think-
underestimated.
You know, God
Just
likes
think
to
about
just
it this
enchant
way.
things randomly sometimes. You know."
You're gonna get your brother back, and you also get the benefit of being pleasantly surprised.
By the gods, I hope so. I have to ask then, because the commander is very formal about these sorts of things. What would you ask in return?
My fucking throne.
That's a
To
good
not,
question.
Help finding out
Not-
who resurrected me.
to not be put in a dungeon and, have my head chopped off would probably be great.
And she looks at you. I can tell you, he likes you.
Everybody
does
likes
think I'm
her. She's
funny.
the prostitute. No, I'm kidding.
Hey.
Joke.
Is
Hey,
yo-
I mean,
Is
Yeah,
that
The
joke.
commander
I mean-
isn't really into that
If it-
sort of thing. I don't
I mean, if
think.
Ladies?
if it pays
any of it.
well,
The commander's like fucking gay.
I've never seen him take anyone to bed. But that's not the. I shouldn't be telling you that. Oh God, she starts shaking her head.
You jealous?
I'm gonna make a zipped lip motion.
Not that I'd like pay
Don't
attention
worry.
to that. I just,
Oh
That's-
great, she's Cinderia too.
I,
I'm just
Oh,
gonna.
I don't
I'm,
like you or anything.
I'm gonna look her in the eyes and make a digging motion.
She
It-
goes.
just shake
She
my
kind of
head.
points her finger, kind of wagging it a little bit. She goes, "Yeah, yeah. Listen, I need to go speak with the commander. Do you want me actually? If you guys really need to rest, I can take watch. I can watch for you. Watch the front, and then
It's very
I'll
kind of you.
I'll make sure you're all right, and then go speak with the commander. He didn't request me immediately, so I assume he's gonna speak with the council and. Oh God, the council. I'll take watch. You guys take your rest, okay?
I believe
Okay.
you asked what we would like in return.
Yes.
Oh boy.
I'm not giving my
I figured you needed time to think of that. That's a big question for such a big task.
Not for me.
Nope. I know exactly
like
what
a
I
pearl
want.
worth at least 100 gold pieces. Oh, I'm sorry.
Gold we can do.
I want very specifically to find out who resurrected me and why.
And she kind of furrows her eyebrows. Resurrected. Are you? She kind of looks at the rest of the party. Is he undead? What? You don't
He
look
was
undead.
dead.
I mean,
And she kind of
No, he's
walks.
not.
She walks towards you, Sam, and kind of like she reaches out to poke you, like poke your face.
I suppose that
yes
depends on
and
the
no.
technicalities of undead.
Do you just let her poke your face?
Yeah.
She kind of pokes your face. She's like, you're not bone. This is an illusion. She's like poking your face a lot. Like,
he's not like necromancer undead, but we're unsure of it
But
ourselves.
if he was resurrected, that's necromancy, right?
Or
Or is it?
divination.
I say and arch my eyebrows.
Unless one of these many
mom's
absent
necromancy.
gods has decided to bring him back for something.
I don't.
This is what I want to find out.
I don't think he got
why
the
I
chance
got
to
brought
die
back.
in the first place.
What
So,
do we say to the
here's-
god of death?
Here's
Kill
Uh,
me.
probably a few days ago. When, so she says, here's the thing. I assume you're being serious. If
Very.
if this is something you want as a reward for such a dangerous task. So, if it's information you need, we're good at that. Or at least we know people who are. I don't like dealing with them, but we can do it.
If you can help me find out who brought me back.
I can't guarantee it, but I can guarantee we can look into it.
Oh, that's good enough for me.
Okay.
Sounds fair.
That's gonna take a lot of strings being pulled and working with people we don't want to work with.
Kinky. Let's do it.
Is that okay with everyone else, or I can
Do we just get
suppose.
one?
probably pull some gold into the mix? I don't
Can
know.
we just get one, or can we
I'm-
each have?
Oh, I like gold.
Everything.
You could
Gold is
each have
nice.
something, but I have to kind of think of an equivalent exchange.
Let's find your brother first. Wait, let's worry about this later. I think the man's life
Probably should be worth more than this discussion.
Well, I believe my ask is minor.
And when you say that, Six, her eyes kind of grow softer, and she says, "Thank you." And she turns around and looks at you, Zelfer, and your ask.
Formal forgiveness.
I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know if forgiveness is in order, but I can bring it up with the commander. Perhaps your want for that will mean something.
Death of a companion is something I do not know.
Dibs.
I might have known in a past life, but currently I do not. Therefore, I can never understand what I am putting you through. All I can ask is that it does not impede us in future.
Geralt was a good man. I'll make sure that this is mentioned. I suppose I appreciate that. Yeah, a past life, you are a strange bunch. And she goes, Six,
I am
what
a
happened?
cynic.
Where did you find these guys?
I'm not
I was
used
in the
to
they-
basement.
They found me.
I was in a bar bothering patrons.
I'll be
I'm a bit of
honest.
a-
I'm not used to being the normal one in a group.
She says, so far you are. I'm so sorry.
I'm a
I'm
bard.
a bit of a lightning rod.
I'm a bard. This is so weird.
That would explain the violin.
Yeah. And
Mr. Six, you're a lightning rod, so if I shoot electricity, will it go to you?
oh, by the way, if you find any bagpipes, let me
Metaphorically.
know.
Oh.
I don't have any, but I've missed playing them.
Okay, so looking into information and she looks to you, Sam.
Oh, Samuel
Sam.
Dyer. I apologize.
Samael Dyer.
Sam,
Are
I
you
am
also
Dyer.
an heir to the throne?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Heir? No.
Well,
Aren't heirs children?
Whoever has rightful claim to it? I don't. Okay, so everybody
My
here is a
brother was
king.
supposedly the first king.
Oh my god.
close to
okay.
being the king, I think.
Okay, so
I
information.
died before he could really.
You
be a
died.
king.
You had a past life. You're a bard. That's weird enough. You're 6, and you are the king's son. Fantastic. I will, in return for your task, Samael Dyer's resurrection, get a set of bagpipes for this lovely lady, and
Thank you.
ask forgiveness of the commander for the strange-eyed one, as the
I
commander
never
called
said
you.
the commander.
How long have you guys
Well-
been living in this school?
And she, well, in response to Zelfer, well, who do you want to ask forgiveness?
I'm assuming he had a family,
His family. Yes.
including if that is you guys and the commander by extension.
Actually,
yes.
I know Geralt had a brother. I don't know about he didn't have kids, I don't think. Unless he was that
For-
secretive, but...
I mean, for the companions like you and the other normal rangers, yes. The commander, if he would grant it to me, sure. But he is not who I'm asking.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I don't forgive you. I don't know if I ever will, but I can appreciate you longing for forgiveness. It means something. And as the commander said, it wasn't the heat of battle. 6, we'll run to the bathroom. We'll take like a 3-minute break in just a minute here.
Copy.
Pace.
Anyway.
2-minute break? It's like bedtime.
I will talk to everyone about that, bagpipes, and try to dig up some information through those fucking thieves about Samael Dyer's resurrection. Is this an okay? Is this a trade we can make in return for you crawling through this dungeon for us?
Sounds good to me.
Understood. I will take watch. I'm tired, but I think I should be
Wait,
fine.
but how long have you lived in this castle?
I have not lived in this castle. This is not this is not my home.
I know, it's mine. But, have you
She kind of
guys
rolls her
found
eyes when you say
any-
that.
Yeah, sorry, it's a habit now, I guess. He would ask. See it? Nobody knows the sword. Frick.
Still ask.
Yeah.
Unless you don't want to bring it up yet.
Good
He would
night.
have asked had she remembered the king's sword.
The king's sword?
Yeah.
The king had many swords. What
Yeah,
what
but, his main guy,
main guy? I'm not aware. You mean that could be the commander's blade? He
No,
said it
it's
belonged
this
to the
one.
king.
I say summoning my blade.
What
Yeah.
kind of blade does the commander have?
No, he has a sword that apparently once belonged to King Crafton.
But what kind?
I believe it was a. I don't know actually. He doesn't use it very often.
The sword.
It was
There
a
are
it was a
many
sharp
different
one, all right.
swords.
The sharp one.
Yeah. And she says, I frankly don't know. He usually keeps it in a locked box. He doesn't use it very often.
Why would
He says
keep
it's a
his
precious
sword in a
relic.
box? Ah, well, this is the family heirloom, and I'm using
You cut out there.
that. Oh, he would have said this is a family heirloom, and I use.
Right. Well, that's not how the commander works with precious artifacts.
Good to know. Commander's picky.
Anyway, unless there's anything else, I'll go take watch. Hopefully I don't fall asleep, and you guys get your rest.
Epic.
Okay.
Not very reassuring.
Well, it sounds like you're all quite tired, and I doubt any of you want to stay up any longer. If
No,
you've been
but-
up for several days,
Curls in
We
a small ball.
appreciate it.
of course.
Truly.
And she says, "I'll be off then." And she just walks to the end of the hall. And I'll keep her over here for now, but just know she's probably like another 30, 40, 50 feet away. She's off in the next in the like main 50. Fuck you. She's in the main hall, so not able to hear you guys if that matters.
Cool. I go and grab the helmet and I curl up with it.
Okay.
Good
Like
helmet.
like a teddy bear.
Yes, and I'm stroking it, saying, "Good helmet."
Good
So
helmet.
precious.
Didn't you just call it a bad helmet like 10 minutes?
It was a bad helmet, but now it's a
It's
good
like
helmet.
Like the Cat in the Hat, dirty hoe. Just
You
kidding,
dirty
baby.
hoe.
I know,
Yeah.
you-
Okay. Is there anything else anybody would like to do before you guys take a long rest?
Percival
Indeed not.
sleep.
Take my
Sleep.
armor off and
Sleep.
summon my sword.
Sure.
Desummon.
Decimon. He decimons his sword. Okay.
Decimate. I
Unsummon.
decimate my sword. Oh.
Then if there's nothing else, you can all take a long rest.
Thank you for cutting out.
Fabulous.
You can all take a long
We
rest.
can take a long.
Yes.
Excellent. Hit points.
And okay. As you rest, when you guys wake up,
Your nipples.
several
Or heart.
it's quite noticeable, several of the strange glows are gone, including the blue one.
Pouty face.
But some still remain. Some of the smaller ones still remain.
Interesting. All right. Don't know what that means. Maybe we'll find out later.
Is it bad I want to touch it?
Yes.
Yes,
Probably.
it's bad. Yes, it's bad I want to touch it, or yes, touch it.
Yes, it's bad.
Yes, it's bad.
Hmm.
There's a little unison there.
Can I-
Touch.
Hold on. Can I
Yes.
fit the can I fit the helmet into my backpack?
No. it's
Does
a large
anyone-
helmet.
Does anyone have a backpack I can fit it into?
You know,
Fit what into?
if it took most of it up, Percy, was it Percy or Sam that got just like a big old burlap sack, basically?
Me.
Sam, it would take most of it up. You wouldn't be able to put much more in there, but Sam could carry it.
Carry what?
The helmet.
What if you
Why?
turned it? What
I
if you
looked
turned
at
it
that-
upside down?
I
so
look
that
to Sam with puppy dog eyes.
You can put more stuff.
Why?
I want it.
Okay, but I also want to carry supplies.
if you
my-
turn it so it's upside down, it would be hollow. So you could probably still put some stuff in it and save
and put in some more room.
Do you want me to be honest, Sam, why I want it?
Kinda.
I would like to build my own set of armor that talks. Step
I don't know
1,
about that.
acquire a helmet. Holds up helmet. Step 2, acquire rest of armor.
Or, here's an idea. Food for thought. Leave the helmet and the rest of the armor here, and then you have the entire set of armor
No,
in
because
one spot.
they won't let me take it. I have to do it one piece at a time.
I don't think you'll be able to take any of the other pieces.
Thanks, Olin.
Yeah.
Mr. Sam, if you turn it upside and you can fit things, I still have my satchel. Please? I don't ask him
How
much.
big did you say it was, Holden?
It is approximately 2.5
boys.
feet tall. So
jam.
roughly 2 feet wide, maybe. It would take up basically all of your most of your burlap sack. That little thing you're carrying.
But what if we turned it upside down so the hollow end is face up? Like, towards the
Then
opener?
it would still like bulge out really awkwardly, and you could place things like kind of in the helmet. Like that would save some room, but it would still be like really awkward and bulky to carry around.
Give me the fucking helmet.
Yeah.
I'll be
My
honest with
hand-
you right now. If you want to do that, I am going to impose disadvantage on stealth if you have anything else in that sack
Other than the helmet?
other than the helmet. Because if you like place them inside, moving around at all, it's gonna be rattling around in there.
Okay, well, to be fair, I'm big clanky armor boy anyway.
We
Oh,
don't
yeah.
stealth much. To be
I'm
honest.
saying, yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm just saying.
I squeal with the light and hand him the helmet.
As long as I just gotta make a note of this. Sam has helmet in sack, disadvantage, stealth, but he doesn't
If
care.
If anything else is in.
Wait,
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
which
Sorry.
is
Let me.
fair.
Yeah. Let me add
I
that.
have a plate, magic plate.
Sack with anything
Ooh.
else in there. Yeah. So you do have a plate. So that plate, as you're walking around, the plate's like inside the helmet. It's just clank, 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 clank.
This is getting annoying already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can take the plate and put it in my satchel.
Do it.
Okay. Enchantment plate.
Is it GERD or GURD?
Well, I think it's GURD.
We had this. We
So I'm
talked
just
about
putting GERD helmet.
GURD.
I'm not- If I do
Yeah.
make this set of armor, we will be putting it to a vote what he will say.
Maybe he could say more than one thing.
No.
Turd.
Okay.
No. It will be one thing, and we will put it to a party vote. What he will-
All right.
No, and hold it. It's going to be a high-pitched voice. I will make sure of it.
Oh boy.
GERD brother turd.
Just whenever you're like come here, let me put something inside you, and the armor walks over and goes penis.
It just makes that sound that the turtle makes when it's humping the croc.
And then I'd have to.
Many of you did that at the
I'd have to, but then the thing is, if you guys achieve this, every time he wanted to use it, I'd have to make that sound as the armor walked over and went.
Yeah, exactly. Suffer for your crimes.
Oh my
Suffer for your transgressions.
god!
You will
Suffer
pay.
for letting you do something that's not in the game rules.
Suffer for everything you've done to Blake.
I would first enchant all the armor to make it pink.
This is penance for every pun you've ever made.
You know what? You're
Blake's
absolutely right.
made.
You are absolutely right. I've made far too many with. He's given me a lot of leniency on the 5 pun rule.
Yeah, I have.
He's basically just not enforced it, so I suppose I have some comeuppance coming at me.
I stand about 10 feet away from Sam, and like I'm smiling at him. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Mr. Sam. Thank you, Mr. Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have this candy bar, Mom? Fine. Thank
Alright.
you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom.
So I will ask now.
Yes.
Would you guys like to continue just a little bit longer, just to get to the next part and see what's up, or would we like to stop there on the long rest?
I want to continue, but there was someone that said he had to go to bed.
Oh
Isaac-
no, it's kind of a meme. But also I do get up at 5:30.
Okay. If there's anyone that's really opposed to just continuing for a little bit longer, we can stop. It's fine. But no, I wouldn't mind going maybe like 10, 20 minutes longer just to introduce us to the next part.
That'd be fine.
10 or 20 minutes I can do.
Sure thing. Okay, we'll get to the next part. Sure. All right. So you guys are awake. You've done this helmet bullshit. What are you doing?
That's hurtful.
I guess asking for her to lead us to the dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
You're all
I
gonna
stretch,
find-
I pull some bread from my pack. I feed it to the missus. I have a bite myself.
There you
we have
go.
some water.
You know, I was
And,
asking
we're good.
everyone before, not everyone, but I was asking, was it Isaac and Eden? I was like, should I remind him of the rat, or should I see
no,
if
I
he
got her.
remembers?
I got her.
But you remember.
If he
I
hadn't-
got her.
If he hadn't remembered after this long rest, I was actually going to pull her out and be like, "Hey, we should
Yeah.
take care
You
of
could
this."
play with her.
Oh, can I?
Absolutely.
Yay! I want to pull her up and put her on my shoulder and give her head scratches.
You know, at first she seems to make an animal handling check.
An enema handshake.
Make an enema hand. I'm like 5 shots worth in. Sorry.
Make an enema check.
Make an enema check.
Uh-oh.
I like
Hold
that.
on.
6 tosses a couple of copper pieces into the helmet. Ching, 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 ting, 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 ting.
You might have to make it for me because for some reason my browser completely shut.
That's okay. I got you.
7.
Course, skills, animal handling. Bop. Well done.
21.
You got a
Very
21.
nice.
Okay.
It is a multiple of 7.
Fuck up. Both of those are. Son of a
I
bitch.
know.
So you pull the rat out, and at first the rat seems Bess seems very
Bess.
shocked and kind of scared, but then you start giving her head scritches, and she immediately kind of just snuggles into you and is like, you know, getting the head scritches and nibbling on some cheese or bread or whatever's given to her, licking up whatever water that Six has kind of poured out for her.
Good.
And she is a very happy little rat, and you are giving her good head scritches.
Menon looks so happy she could pop.
If rats
Like-
could purr, this rat would be purring real loud. This is a happy rat.
I hiss.
Do you hiss?
No.
Oh.
Oh. Don't you say
He looks at it and you can see him thinking about hissing at the rat.
Bess?
How do I see
I can
that?
see that particular thought in your brain. Is that what's going on?
No, you can watch my like mouth my lips change
Okay.
to hiss.
I
Just
like it.
he opens his mouth to start hissing, and then he closes it, and he opens it again, and he closes it.
Okay. And then after that, you guys go find Ravina, and you find her at the front doors, which are, you know, destroyed. Slumped over, kind of right in front of them, asleep. Sitting up, asleep.
Typical.
I've got this.
No.
Even
no, no,
the
no,
sound,
no, no,
the sound of, I love how everyone's immediately, no, Zelford, no. As even the 5 of you walking toward her and maybe talking, chit-chatting, whatever, you see her, even all that noise does not wake her up.
I pull out my little wire and
No.
I point it out. I've got this. I'm casting message.
No.
Spooky, scary, spooky, scary, spooky.
So you guys just watch him pull a little wire, and immediately she jumps up and goes, ah, ah, and pulls out her mace and starts swinging it. Motherfucker!
I am so sorry. We tried to stop him.
She's like, no,
Nothing
I
to do with
fell
that.
asleep. I was fucking watching you guys, and I fell asleep. Oh my god.
That happens to everyone.
No, it shouldn't. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And she
Still
actually, like,
happens to
she
everyone.
kind of bows to you guys. I am so sorry. I made a
Well,
promise
we're
and I
fine,
failed
aren't
you.
we?
You're good. No apology necessary.
She says, but you could have,
We
I
You're
don't
awake.
think we would have died regardless, even if we were attacked.
Please stop saying the N-word.
What?
Oh, yeah, I also miss you.
What is happening?
It was a meme of a crying girl, and that's all it said.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so she apologizes, and you guys, I assume you want, you ask her to lead you to the dungeon.
Please.
Yes. So she after kind of calming down, putting her mace away, she goes, now what the fuck was that in my head?
This was what?
It sounded like you were talking in my head.
He was.
Are you
Magic.
hallucinating?
Am I hallucinating?
It's a
No.
spell.
Was I dreaming? It was a
It's just
spell?
magic.
Oh, fucking magic users.
I
All
don't
of
know
you.
how. I don't know
Hey!
any of magic.
Bunch of mischievous bastards, all of you.
Hey, that's rude. I don't know any
That's fair.
magic.
That's kind of my thing.
Let's
though.
roll. Make a deception check. I don't know any magic. You just launched. No, there's no deception check. You just launched Fireball last night. There's no deception. She rolls her eyes at you. You roll it. Holy fuck. I don't know any magic, and all of a sudden, you feel the wrath of God cause you to take 10 points of fuck you damage.
Oh, magic! I thought you said magic. My bad. I cast prestidigitation to make sparks come out of my hand.
Fucking hate you. So she calms down after all that. She leads you to a door immediately on the left. It's kind of a smaller door. Looks almost like it kind of blends into the wall. It almost looks like it was kind of meant to be tucked away and not really looked at. And you go through this door and you leave the extravagance of this room, and you're just in stoic, solid stone hallways. You go down some steps. You take a left. You take a right. It's a little ways, and eventually you come. Eventually, you come across a final stairwell that leads further down, and then a wide, almost like 15, 20 foot wide hallway. That's quite dark. Does anybody have anything that they need for vision? Because it is pitch dark down here.
I believe I have night vision.
Most
I
of us
do.
do.
No,
Who does not? Okay.
I don't.
Hey, who's the lame ass human?
I think we have two lame ass humans.
Nerds.
That's me.
Fucking half elf.
Well, I'll just
Do
tell
we
you
have,
now,
torches with us?
if you don't
Shut
have a
up.
light source and you don't have dark vision, even if you have dark vision, it's kind of hard to see, but you can look around. If you don't have dark vision, it's pitch black.
I do not have dark vision.
Anyway, and
Oh
she
my god,
I have dark vision. I meant torches.
Mhm.
Not
So,
torches.
so by most of us earlier, he meant 2 out of the 5.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Anyway,
I do not carry torches.
Neither do
Does
I.
anyone? Are there any? Were there
Why?
any in the
I
in the
asked
other room?
Ravina.
you ask what?
I asked Ravina if she has any
Oh,
torches.
she says, "Oh yeah, of course." And she kind of reaches into her bag and lights one, and she kind of holds it up, and you guys can see ahead of you. It's just a straight, wide hallway with cobwebs, what looks like massive cobwebs, like unnaturally large, and it's
don't like
dusty.
that.
It's
Don't like that.
it's
Don't like
dusty
that.
and
I'm pulling an Azco. The second she lights the torch, I point at it, and it's out.
okay, so you don't see any of that,
And then I snap my fingers, and it comes back.
and then you see all that.
And I giggle.
Okay. Yeah,
Are
it's
there
it's
no
dusty,
windows down
it's
here?
musty, it smells like just down here.
I think,
It
I
smells
think
like
Musty's
mold.
Okay.
Less of a see thing and more of a smell
I
thing.
was saying
I'll
it
be
smells like
honest.
mold. It's dark.
Like-
it's dank.
Percy's gonna
It's just a
kinda cough
depressing.
A little bit and say, "Damn, open up."
Open a
I'll
window.
be honest. Like the second Menon saw the unnaturally large spider webs, she would have turned around and practically screamed, "Nope!"
I can
and
take
started
care of
walking
it.
and start walking the other direction. Nope.
I point at the large
Yeah, someone's
spider.
not getting any bagpipes.
I
I can get him on my own.
I point at the large spider web and go, fire! And firebolt it.
Okay. You firebolt the web, and actually, I might as well just bring you guys here so you can see. Scroll
Oh,
way
yeah.
down to the bottom left.
Thanks, Holden. I'm scratching my penis right now.
Okay. Good. Good.
I can only hope you wait for some of that until I'm there tomorrow.
Hey man, when we get blazed,
Yeah,
are
you
we
guys.
ge-
I
are
know
we
you.
getting crossfaded or just blazed on
No, I'm missing
Saturday?
Menon.
For my first time, I think just blazed.
Yeah,
it's
we-
good shit. We can use we have 3 choices. We have my friend Kaylee's shit, Bansky's shit, or Carson's.
And I can
I know
christen
we
my
just
new
eat
pieces.
Whatever we want, and then get a pie off the.
Yeah. I can christen my new pieces. But anyway,
I mean, I don't know why we need multiple bowls being passed around.
shut up. I'm excited. So, yeah, this is what you guys see, and Zelfer immediately you cast firebolts, and you set the entire web ablaze, and it kind of fizzled out real quick. But in the dark, somewhere from over here, you can't see, but you hear like a little, and then scurry. What almost sounds like a slimy scurry away.
Oh no. Oh hell no.
I killed the spider web for you, Miss Menon.
And
Oops, sorry.
and Ravina, who is there,
Why are my God, I can't.
why are you? What are you?
Hold
Menon?
on, I'm sorry. My computer is glitching out. Hold on. Could you move me back while I try to figure this out?
Yeah.
Menon, you went really far forward.
Yeah, she's
I
so
know.
scared she ran toward the danger. Her brain is just like, ah! What do?
It's good. Oh, fuck. Doing it again. God, stop. Stop.
Anyway, Ravina is here with you. She's up front with a torch. I'll move you back. Yeah, she says, this is the dungeon. I don't know where he went. I don't know what's down here. I don't know what you'll find, but I need to get back to the commander.
I have a few ideas, and I don't like any of them.
I'm trusting you, all of you. I can leave you with a few torches if you'd like, but I'm trusting you to
Yes, please.
find something for me.
That is a bad idea to trust us.
And she'll take a few torches out and hand them out to whoever who wants. Yeah, there are 3 torches she has to hand out. Who is taking them?
Probably 3 people without dark vision.
Each one of you is taking one?
No, Percival's taking all 3. Holding them like Wolverine
Okay,
claws.
all 3 of you who don't have dark vision, you each get 1 torch. One of them is lit. Who's taking the lit one?
I'll
Oh,
take the lit one.
Or him. Go for it.
Percy takes the lit one. I will make a little mark on your character so that I know you are the center of the light. Do I have a little fire icon I can give you? This is close enough. It's like leaves, but we'll know. Okay.
Probably put light, literally put light around him.
Oh, actually, you know what? 6, that's a better idea. Thank you.
Sure.
Well,
What do we need? Light? I mean, I could like. Well, I'll know I need to reveal the area around
Do you
him.
actually think that was 6?
That was 6 that added
That
that
was me.
icon, wasn't it? Yeah.
I did,
Oh.
yeah.
So thank you. Anyway,
It's me.
so she hands you the lit torch. She says, "I'm trusting you guys. I need to get back to the commander now. Can you do this for me, please?
Go to your
Yes.
men. We'll find your brother.
Thank you." And she rushes out.
Spiders!
The second she leaves, I look at Percy. That lady is kind of angry.
All the time.
I don't like angry people.
And with that, we will wrap up for tonight.